Hello there, dear listener. We hope you're enjoying this lovely discussion. If you're not already aware, this show is part of a podcast network called KWAZ Radio, a Pan-African Nationalist and Garveyite network come to showcasing the rich and varied thoughts of African people. We have an exciting lineup of shows that we think you'll enjoy, including
the Victor Medicine Podcast.
I think black people require too much buy-in. Like, we constantly have to sell black people on things that are beneficial to black people.
The Pro-Black Perspective Podcast.
I'm fearful that our people are not really studying how to get ahead, and we're kind of, continually staying behind.
The Harsh Reality Podcast.
To me, it don't matter. I think people are so dumbed down, it wouldn't matter what you reveal to them. They still are in the matrix. They in the simulation. They're going to keep doing what they did. They lemmings. So to me, it don't matter.
The Learning Curve Podcast.
Sexual access has never given you economic empowerment. The only person who has ever been economically empowered by a sexual relationship is the wasp and his woman.
The Cathedral Cheek Show.
When we start rising up to fight for our own, I guarantee you they'll stop doing what they're doing. I guarantee you they would have let their brother go. They was waiting to see what black folks was going to do.
Brother Bakari Podcast.
Black people love to claim folks that hate them, right? They are slave masters, and they are ashamed of who they really are.
The Forecast Radio.
Like, if you pray to the same deity as, like, your enemy, and that God blesses your enemy more than you may want to reconsider who you praying to,
And Tanzan, African Mind.
Because generally a welcoming of everyone. Sometimes to my consternation, I think that they should be less, welcoming.
If you love our podcast network, we would be grateful if you could rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on social media, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out our website at www.kwazradio.com for more information. Thank you for tuning in. And now, back to the program.
Peace, family. We got Eli here. Says me there, you understand? For a while until I get summoned for family duties. Okay, all right, boss. Hey, this brother's a scholar from another. I'm not around for that, so I got to think about that one. But brother from another mother. See, there's sister from another mister, and brother from another mother. But I don't know. I don't know when they say scholar from another. I don't know. y'all. I don't say y'all. I'm like holla, y'all. I don't know. But all right, yeah. We got Eli here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through some of the. I guess we got. He's in England, so I can say cheeky. Some of the cheeky shit I've been saying on on X. So basically, if y'all don't know, I got a Twitter account, Onitaset. I just signed into it. Right here, you got my free ebook. Let me tell you guys this. So I'm doing this book. I think it's supposed to be amazing. I'm not really working on it too hard, but it seems to be amazing. Like the progress I'm making, it's like opening my eyes to a lot of bullshit, and it kind of brings me back to the theme or the title, which is why are there no revolutionaries, leaders in America anymore? It's because we don't really have revolutionary literature. Like check out this brother Eli, right? This is a married man, and we have to realize that this is the thing that I'm picking up on. Being a married man is I don't want to say it's revolutionary, right? But what I want to say is that if you end the revolution and you have married men, you did a good damn thing. Like if you end the revolution and at the end of the revolution you have men who are married to good women or good men married to good women, right? Then you did a right thing. And And I say this in the context of, when you look at the communists, right, the socialists, Marxists, whatever, they explicitly tell you, and you guys remember that lecture from the other day, they explicitly tell you they're not looking to get marriages anymore. They're looking to do away with the institution of marriage. You see what I'm saying? So one of the impediments to revolution is revolutionary literature. Because if you're confused about what your goals are for a revolution, right, and peace to Kofi, if you're confused about what your goals are for a revolution, first off, nobody's really trying to kick it with you. You know what I mean? Nobody's really trying to kick it with you because why would they? You understand? Now, I think, hold on a second. I think I could actually add, I realize that I do not have the, here it goes. I don't have the YouTube comments on the screen. So let me see if I could. Oh, I forgot to put the page up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the, so now I got to go to this stupid window. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the, so this is a pretty complicated, not too complicated. You just got to copy and paste. So I'm going to copy and paste this web link into this YouTube scene. Basically, I'm using OBS Studio. If you guys don't know, it's a little bit more involved, a little more technical. But there you go. That's it. All right. So yeah, greetings to Kofi. So what so what I'm saying is that we don't have the revolutionary literature. And so here's, obviously I'm trying to write that. I'm trying to write, hey, you know what? At the end of the revolution, or at the end of your, throughout your life, try to marry a good woman and try to be a good man. And I was saying this on Bit of Medicine yesterday. A lot of us don't know what a good man or a good woman is. A lot of us don't even know what we're dating for. See, knowledge is bliss. You see what I'm saying? Knowledge is bliss. As a matter of fact, let me say, hold on a second. Let me just, I might as well tell some sweet little thing how I'm finna talk about relationships on the podcast. But anyway, so look, what I'm saying is this. A lot of us don't know the purpose behind dating, the purpose behind relationships. And in not knowing that, it almost defeats the purpose of why you're even doing it. It almost defeats the purpose of why you're even doing it. Because see, I could talk to any old lady at this point in time, right? I could be like, hey, you know what? Hey, sis, how you doing? Whatever, right? But if I have no intention of being a good husband with her, and she has no intention of being a good wife with me, then what exactly is she putting her time and energy in it for? And what am I putting my time and energy in it for? And those are the big questions that, if you don't process that, right, you're gonna go into a whole bunch of trouble. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for this link right quick. Here, I think I have it right here. And what am I putting my time in it? So right, that's me on the phone. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, because we're gonna go over some things. Let me just say. All right, so let me say 2 times speed. 2 times speed. All right, so here's the thing. Now, this is what my literature is coming to, right? We're gonna try to bring back up what Sheikh Anta Diop was telling us. So basically, the communists are telling us, hey, look, we're trying to destroy the family unit. Right, this is not me speculating. Okay, this is in 4K. Okay, they are caught in 4K talking about we want to destroy the family unit. And again, I don't want to say this is like, I don't want to just tell you when I can show you. Right. So what we're doing, I think it's right here. Right, origin of the family. This is it right here. Yeah. This is angles. This is on Marxist.org. This is origin of the family, private property, and the state. This is, scroll down, where he's like, look, or he's like, look, monogamy. He's like, the existence of slavery side by side with monogamy. right? And this is sometimes how you should read. The origin of monogamy is traced back to, blah, blah, blah. It's not individual sex love, right? We're looking for individual sex love. We're not looking for monogamy, okay? The first class opposition that appears in history coincides with the development of the antagonism between man and woman in monogamous marriage, and the first class oppression coincides with that of the female sex by the male, right? Monogamous marriage was a great step forward, blah, blah, blah. But basically, if this is the class opposition, and if you guys know anything about Marxism, they're trying to they're trying to make the lower class, overtake the upper class. If you understand that, you understand what they're saying to you in 4K. Okay? Here, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you listen to all the reasons why monogamy is not good. And we read this last week, so not last week, but we read this a while back. So if you guys want to hear the full text, I have it. But the point is, and of course you can read it yourself. The point is, as you proceed further and further, he's like, look, we're not even trying to keep monogamy, right? And I don't want you to just take my word for it, because you could go to somebody and say they try to, and then they'll say, where'd you get that from? And you're like, well, I heard Oni, and they're like, well, Oni don't know shit, right? No. Then it will be plain that the first condition for the liberation of the wife, okay? So again, you got Eli, a married man, right? Nobody is going to say that his woman is not liberated. This man treats his woman good. He treats his family good, and that's what you want from a black man, okay? You want a man, she treats him good, he treat her good. Nobody, but these communists will go in her ear and say, you got to get liberated from that man. And he's a good man. You got to get liberated from this man. Right? So it says the first condition for the liberation of the wife, not even the liberation of the woman, the liberation of the wife. So they really coming for your wives. I'm telling you this right now. The communists are coming for your wives. And again, I'm not telling you what, like, again, I knew about communism back in high school. Okay? I don't want to show you guys the link or nothing, but I had an online presence back in high school talking with, crackers, yeah. Talking with crackers on communism and socialism and liberalism and all that kind of stuff. Vying with the best of them. Okay, this is back in high school. You know what I'm saying? I can pull up the record. But the point I'm getting at is this. When I was there, I heard about Trotsky, the Trotsky-Stalin divide. And they were saying, Trotsky, he was really just about, free sex, liberal sex, that 60s hippies movement. That was Trotsky. Okay? Trotsky was just about getting poo-poo. On the other hand, Stalin was about business. You see what I'm saying? Stalin stood on business. So I'm not really, because I like Stalin. I like Stalin, I like Mao. And I know you're saying, but they communists. Yeah, okay. You got to understand the bigger picture with them. The real communists, not the real communists, but the communists are the ones trying to destroy the family. The supremacy of the husband over the wife in the modern family. You see what I'm saying? So, first liberation of the wife is to bring the whole female sex back into public industry, which again, what does that mean? That means, get her worker, you want her to be the worker, okay? And this in turn demands the abolition of the monogamous family as the economic unit of society. Now, in this conversation, there's no, in this discussion, there's no understanding that, well, somebody's with the wife, somebody's with the children. It's no. We just want this woman to have as much sex as she can handle, and this man to have as much sex as she can handle, and the kids be damned. This is what the communists say. This is not me. Okay, this is not me. So again, I don't want to go on that subject too long. I just want to give you guys context. Empower you with the context, because when somebody comes to you, well, the revolution, really, if you gotta abolish private property and abolish, you gotta understand what they're really saying. They're coming for your wife. They're Trotskyists. They are coming for your wife. They're coming for your daughters. They're saying, why can't me and your daughter get together? No real end goal. Brother Bakari is here. Peace and black power to Brother Bakari. I'm gonna try to hurry up because I know Brother Bakari tried to go on live too. But last, so this is it. And so, again, that's part of the resistance for a revolutionary literature. Okay? Now, I told you guys I have this book. It's not finished yet. I don't have all the... Like, I'm actually adding the real juice after this preview, so I excuse you if you didn't read the preview yet. But we're just going to go over some of the conversations that I've been having on Twitter just to pass some time. Just so I can make some content and also so you guys can enjoy it. Like I said, I was planning on doing the GRE, solving a math problem, solving math problems, or solving language arts problems, and science assignment problems. But that's not even interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's interesting. What are they testing on GRE? But it ain't that interested. So on and so forth. So this right here. So like this guy, Sal the Algist, this is what I'm saying about the revolutionary literature, the revolutionaries, right? Sal the Algist is like this quote unquote meme. Like he's a guy who circulates memes, and he's like an anarchist or something, right? But like, and so he's pretty popular too. In fact, I don't know if he's black or white. This is just a picture. He has 231,000 followers. Okay, crypto anarchist, libertarian, all that kind of stuff, right? Counter economics, blah, 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 blah. And you would think, this guy, makes a lot of sense sometimes, right? I don't know, right? He's on the conspiracy theory shit. But look at this right here. I want people to understand this because this is the thing about us. We tend to be overly entitled. When you go to Africa, this is what I love about Africa. When you go to Africa, you realize you ain't entitled to shit. Like the things that you get while you're in the West, right? You are just like, give me more, I deserve this. Why? Like I tell you, when I was in Africa, we would sometimes get the water cut off. We would sometimes get the power cut off. You know what I'm saying? We would sometimes get the electricity cut off. The power, the same thing. I was going to say the internet. The internet really didn't cut off, but, like your internet plan runs out, kind of, or some shit, right? My point is this. You are not entitled to anything. But understand that the underlying conversation throughout most of the Western dialogue is a sense of entitlement. And I'm not going to say it's only in America, honestly. Because I tell you, a lot of people, when they engage you, when they engage other people, like a lot of times when you listen to somebody, you just hear entitlement. Even in Africa. I'll tell you the truth. Because some of the people in Africa I know, they everything, like every other word is just, well, I'm entitled to, it's just this entitlement. But I digress. My point is this. Sal the Algist says the Federal Reserve is a Ponzi scheme that prints money out of thin air and loans it to us with interest. Okay. Now here's the question. I say, I don't understand this. Suppose this is true. Let's just suppose this is true. So the fuck what? You choose to use their paper to exchange goods and services. Even in America, right? Even in America, it's actually legal. In America, it's legal to make your own currency. So even if it is a Ponzi scheme printing money, so what? Like, if you go along with it, why wouldn't they do it? That's the big question. If they tell you, look, our money isn't backed with anything, but use it anyway. And you say, sure. And it's not backed with anything. And you still say, sure. Why wouldn't they do it? I don't understand. What do you want them to do? If they're telling you explicitly, hey, you know what? We're no longer backing this with gold. Right? We no longer backing this money at all. Right? And they tell you this. They told you this in 1940, 1930. They were like, you know what? We're going to stop backing the money. What do you got? I think they even put it to a vote. I'm not sure. But they did this. And then you say, okay, well, I'll still use it. Well, why would they not do it then? They'll be like, well, you know what? It's actually not a good idea. We should actually still back it with gold. And we just have, no, if you say, sure, I'll do it, then what's the problem? It's like the people buying cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency ain't got no physical presence. None. Right? They say it's just a bunch of data. And then you say, well, okay, I'll buy it for $10,000. So then the person who sells you a bunch of data for $10,000 fucking dollars, right? That person, why wouldn't they do that? If you go along with it, then why wouldn't they do it? You You know what I mean? It's kind of like the whole discussion. Sometimes people have this discussion where they're like, should you have sex on the first date? Right? And it's like, if a woman says, yeah, I'll have sex with you on the first date, then you should. Like, what do you? Oh, I don't think it's principally right. Like, what are you protesting for? You went along with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go on a date and a woman's like, oh, I can't kiss you right now. Maybe another time. Okay, that's fine. I ain't gonna force you. I'm not gonna call you again, but I'm not gonna force you, right? But at the same time, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if she kisses you on the first date, yeah, go for it. Well, I don't think it's right. Yeah, okay. Like this is the weakest form of protest where you don't have to use their money, and I let me actually go into that point right there. So once upon a time, I had this website. I stopped updating it, obviously, around the time I was doing Perspective. Look at that, the 4th episode back in the day, right? Uwa Johnson versus Tariq Nasheed, But anyway, so at some point, I found this article, and so I was like, let me write an article about it, right? And so it says how to print your own money. This is back in 2012. Y'all see, this is a decade ago, right? How to print your own money, build community, and not get arrested by the feds. And it's not even my article. This is a white man writing for Tree Hugger. Now, I said as seen on January 2009. So let me see if it's still up there. Exactly. See, this is why you don't. This is why you reprint things. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't just send a link. I put the whole thing. So he's like, look, they got Ithaca hours in Ithaca, which is basically like your wage would have been $10 back in the day, right? The average hourly wage is in the region was $10. So they made the base form of the currency $10,000. Sorry, $10, and they called it an hour, Ithaca hour. So he says currently Ithaca hour has about 600 members and has to date about $100,000 worth of Ithaca hours in circulation. Then you have Toronto dollar in Toronto, Canada, which is Canada obviously. You got real dollars in Lawrence, Kansas. You have Berkshires in Western Massachusetts, and it's its own currency. My point is, and so let's just see if we can find Ithaca hours. Now, I don't know if it's still being used, so we're going to see. Because again, I wrote this article 2000 thing. So Ithaca hours is a legal currency generally specific to Ithaca, New York. The system was started in 1991 by Paul Glover, so on and so forth. This is Stanford University. This is the Wikipedia. Let me see if it's still in circulation. Okay, so it says it might be. It's no longer in circulation. So they say it's no longer in circulation. But this was, obviously whatever. The point being, right? You was not backed by national currency and cannot be freely converted to national currency, although so on and so forth. The point is this: you could do it. It's easier said than done, obviously. You could lose everything you invest, obviously, right? But you could do your own thing, just like these people could do their own thing. The only difference is that they do their own thing and then profit. And we complain, why are they profiting? Why are they loading it? What's with interest? What the fuck? You don't have to use it. And I know some people are saying, well, that's kind of simplistic. I do have to use it. Again, you don't. Like, you really don't. Like that you actually don't. But you're going to use it because you feel like you have no other choice, but you're going to use it and it's convenient. And the thing is about life is this: in general, a lot of people do shit because it's convenient. And we again, it's that entitlement of, oh, let me be more convenient. And you're gonna see that. I actually have another tweet that's related more to that entitlement. But it's that entitlement that says, it's convenient. Like I said, once upon a time, I was arguing. I was on the street corner or whatever, and I was telling this brother, I said, hey man, we should be growing our own food, and blah blah blah. Or you shouldn't go to this grocery store, this white business. You should go to a black business, or blah blah blah, whatever. I'm like, if you don't go to this white business, it could close down, and blah blah blah. And he's like, okay, where would I get my food from? I'm like, what do you mean? You could just like get food from a tree or some shit, right? And he's like, I ain't doing that fucking shit, man. Like, and you realize Yeah, it's convenient going to the grocery store. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could hit up a farmer. You could order your food in advance. You could do all sorts of bullshit. But you don't have to go to no motherfucking grocery store. But it is convenient AF. Like I don't know if you like. Another thing is this: I didn't use Amazon until like 2020. You know what I mean? Like I did not use Amazon.com until 2020 because I was like, nobody trying to support this guy. Everybody's saying all this bullshit about how he richest man in the world and he this and that and so forth. So I'm like, ain't nobody really trying to support this dude. But of course, you know, he's still the richest man in the fucking world, right? But then I realized I go there, I use Amazon, and I'm like, damn, this shit convenient as fuck. You could just look at all the prices online and then just buy whatever you want and deliver it to your house for free. like what the fuck? Anyway, so anyway, let's just keep going. Let me see what the chat's like. We got Eli saying best practice is to always share links using the Wayback Machine, so it should always work, even if the website is taken down. But that's the thing. We use the Wayback Machine, but again, like we don't even set it up. And so when the Wayback Machine go down, you know what I'm saying? I think some individual, some rich dude is like, I'm running on my computer. But the thing about this, and this is what I was gonna say about marriage and life, right? The thing about this, everybody dies. Everybody dies. Eli says, I used to be very interested in these community currencies around that time. Yeah, everybody dies, and this is why you're supposed to get married. So I'll simplify it this way. This is what I'm gonna put in my next book. I didn't write it down yet, so just bear with me, right? But what if you look at the husband and the wife and the child in the form of, because it's a little bit inspired from that Engels talk. Home buyer, home keeper, home inheritor. Okay, the kid inherits your house. Because when you die, listen to me. When you die, you know what happens? You leave a big mess behind. And I'm not talking about your body. I'm talking about, like, if I just died tomorrow, I got a house full of a bunch of bullshit. Full of a bunch of bullshit that's not useful to nobody because I'm dead. You know what I mean? That 30-pound weight on my floor. You know, I know y'all saying that's bitch weight. I know. But that 30-pound weight on my floor, them broken, you know, video game controllers, you know, this computer, this library of like, you know, I don't know, 100 books, right? Not 100, but you know what I'm saying, 200 maybe, I don't know. But 100 books, right? That's not worth anything to anybody. What might be worth something to somebody is the freaking house I'm living in, right? And so what I do is that when I die, somebody has to clean up my mess. And that's supposed to be my child. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to say, okay, well, we'll do this with these books. Okay, these weights, well, I'll keep them. You know, like for instance, my mother, when she passed, she left a bunch of stuff, and I said, a lot of stuff was trash. A lot of stuff was go donate. But some stuff, it was like, you know, this has sentimental value. I'll keep this coat of hers. Okay? Eli says, someone's got to back up the Wayback Machine. The reality is this: everybody's going to die, and the people who are going to die too. The people who are going to say what it is. You know that's why one of the best poems out there was Azim Mandes. You know, if you guys know about Azim Mandes' poem, I can show y'all right now. But the Azim Mandes poem is one of the best poems because it's really about ancient Egypt. You know. So this guy, I guess he's making fun of the Egyptians. It's a sonnet. He says, look, I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, the shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell what that a sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on the lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. Right? And I know the rhyme scheme is off, but it's white boy. And on the pedestal, these words appear. And they're kind of mocking Ramses, but they're not really mocking Ramses. They're just telling you what it is. And on the pedestal, these words appear. My name is Azim Mandes. You know, Ramses. King of kings. Look on my works, you mighty, and despair. Nothing beside him remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. So you got the statue, or just the legs of a statue, and you have under the statue an inscription. And it's like, look upon my works, you fucking peasants. Look how great and grand I am. And there's nothing. And that's what happens to all of us. What did your great grandfather leave behind? Now some of you, like I said, if you in Africa, you could say, like Eli, he from Africa, so he could be like, oh, I know my great grandfather left. That's good for you, brother. You know what I mean? No, that's good. That's really good for you. But what I'm saying is this: for the most part, what you have in the Western world is not going to be there in 100 years. Now, if you have it in Africa, it's probably going to be there in 100 years. Right? Possibly. Because, like, even I bought land in Africa, and I bought it from a guy who inherited it from his great-grandfather, and his great-grandfather now lost that shit for a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this. Whatever you leave behind, somebody got to pick it up. So even this Wayback Machine, if the person who backs it up, doesn't back it up, down the line, if somebody says, we don't even need this shit, or somebody just forgets the password, somebody can't log in, somebody can't, whatever, it's gone. Everything. As the white boys then said, all we are is dust in the wind, right? So anyway, but yeah, so you have the house buyer, housekeeper, house inheritor, right? And so, because what happens inside the socialist literature, I don't know if, I think I still have it. They are like, hey, the wife is just a glorified housekeeper. Okay? Let me see. They're like, the wife is just a glorified housekeeper. She should, but I asked the question on Twitter. I said, look, what's wrong with housekeeping? Ah, shit. I hate when this shit happens. This read mode happens. I don't even know. I never remember how to get out of it. Let me see. I hate that shit, man. Yeah, I never remember how to get out of it. But anyway, look, she's like, look, but like, this is something so important. He's like, but to the husband, she is, after all, nothing but the mother of his legitimate children and heirs, right? So you need an heir. You need legitimate children and you need an heir, but the communists make it seem so bad, right? His chief housekeeper, that's a good thing, and the supervisor of his female slaves, right? And so he's like, whom he can and take concubines if he fancies. Okay. And again, they take the worst example of some men, and I'm not gonna say the worst example. If you essentially want to do it, that's what you want to do. But what I'm saying is that being the chief housekeeper and the legitimate heir, and this all for free, because life is tough. Life is tough. You could be a slave. You know what I'm saying? You could be anything, but instead you are the chief housekeeper and the legitimate heir. You have like the thing that they try to say about women being oppressed when they have everything so easy is it's just mind-boggling. And that was my last I don't want to say YouTube short, but that was my last YouTube video the other day. But it is what it is. How do you get out of read mode? Y'all remember? I hate it, man, because I can't even click on my I can't even click on my thing. I can't even click on the other chat without I can't even click on the other chat. So I can't see it. Whatever. Let's see. I hate this shit. All right, let me see. Maybe I could right click, I think it was. No, was it hide toolbar? Oh no, there you go. Exit full screen mode. That shit's so whack, man. Anyway, and then I had hide. Fuck. All right. So yeah, I hate full screen mode. I don't even know how I got into it. But anyway, that was Azim Mandes. So we're gonna keep going. This is actually a really good video. You guys should watch it on the subject of dating. This one was just talking about being friend zoned and shit, but it's not that important to waste our time. This is some Young Thug video. I don't know what this is about, but basically, I don't know if it's true, but it's not that important. Let's just skip over it. I got excited when I saw this. Yeah, all right, so here's another entitlement thing, okay? And of course, I'm being nice to, this is a good sister, Dark Melanin. She's a good sister, so I'm so on and so forth. But look at this right here. So these white folk come up with this thing. A sickle cell cure was approved by the FDA today, right? And it says, I got excited, then I saw this. Treatment is priced at $2.2 million per person, right? And somebody says that's why you get, insurance or whatever, right? And I don't need this treatment. I'm sad for people who don't have access to healthcare and who don't. But it's like this. This is the entitlement again. I said, how much should gene editing cost? Gene editing. A state-of-the-art treatment involving, I'll guess, manipulation of on the molecular level may well be valued in the millions on a fair market level. Now, sister was saying, she has it for, she wants to look out for her son and stuff. So, I get that. But that's the entitlement again. It's like surgery, right? And I think a brother responded to me, and I responded back to him. I'll just see it right now. He says, look, on a moral level, again, which is again, you shouldn't even go, like, everything is economics, really. So you shouldn't even say on a moral level. But he says on a moral level, why not make it affordable? Just make it affordable. Especially with it impacting black people the most. And that's like the reason why you wouldn't make it affordable. But like if I had a reason not to make it affordable, it would be, well, mostly black people are suffering. Like if I were a white person who came up with it, right? But anyway, it says, unless the entire process just costs that much. And it's like this, realistically speaking, the entire process might cost that much. So white people being more about helping black people doesn't even make sense to me. I'll tell you the truth. It doesn't even make sense to me. But even so, I don't know if it's worth $2.2 million, but I imagine the procedure may be pretty involved and requires some advanced machinery and a skilled technician. Usually, that would cost a pretty penny, kind of like surgery. And I say kind of like surgery because, again, one of the best books you could read, honestly, at this point, is Wealth of Nations. Just to understand where this white boy is coming from, Wealth of Nations is a really good book, but because it gives you a context on the society that we're in, right? And so the fact that he's saying, look, and Wealth of Nations, he's like, look, the opera singer makes a lot of money, okay, and the surgeon makes a lot of money, and for different reasons. Opera singer because nobody's trying to do opera. It's just not something you would do in your life, right? You got to pay somebody to do something stupid like that. Real talk. But the other one, and it's not the best argument, but it's an argument, right? And then the other one is a surgeon. He's like, the reason why the surgeon makes so much money is because they cost so much money to train. They have to put in so much damn money to train. Y'all know, if you want to go to medical school, you got to spend upwards of 6 digits. For several years. You gotta compete against the best people, the brightest people, and you gotta win. Right? And then you come inside so much debt. And then here's another thing too. You are so liable to fuck up. Okay? Like if you make a mistake while gene editing. Okay? You make a mistake while gene editing. You're in big trouble. So there's an incentive for you to make buku dollars. You understand? You are in high demand because you mess up and it's something. And then again, like I said, the machinery involved. Like when we talking about genes, okay, we talking about molecular level. Molecular level. Things you can't even see with your own two eyes. Now, if you want to pay that guy, $10 and call it a day, fine. If you want to pay him $10 and he does, 100 procedures a day or 100 procedures a week, fine. Or do you want to tell this guy, look, put all your fucking energy, your time and energy in getting this shit right. We'll pay you, $100,000 to do this once a month. But you make sure you do this correct. If you rather do that, then we talking. But the hospital has to buy this gene editing machine,
And then they have to have a technician skilled enough to use the gene editing machine and not fuck up, because you're talking about gene editing. But again, we have that such entitlement where we're like, man, you should make it affordable. Make it, $7. Did you build the machine? Did you build the machine? Because you can build the machine and do it for free for yourself. You build the machine and then run the machine on yourself. You don't gotta pay nobody. Just build a damn machine. You know what this machine might cost? I mean, again, I don't know the situation. I clicked the article and then I unclicked it because I was like, I'm not trying to read about no. You know what I'm saying? I don't got sickle cell. But I don't got sickle cell. I'm not buying no motherfucking sickle cell machine. All that shit. But what I'm saying is this. If you have a machine that can do this, then do it to yourself for free. But because you don't have a machine, you got to recognize that these machines may cost upward of $100 million. So yeah, if you're paying $100 million for a machine, yeah, you're going to freaking run people's pockets for $2 million to recover your costs. And if you don't run people's pockets, that's good for you. But most people ain't trying to buy no damn... Like, I'll tell y'all this. One time upon a time, I bought a button making machine. And I was thinking I was going to, make a living selling buttons. And I never did, but it is what it is. In fact, I don't think I even sold any buttons because I was like, these buttons are too damn good. I can't give this button to no unconscious motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, some guys like, hey, man, I like your buttons. Can I have one? No, you can't have my button, man. This is a original owning, so I was kind of dumb. I wasn't the best at economics back in the day. I'll give y'all that. But anyway, so when it came to the button machine, it cost me like $500 to buy that shit. And people were like, oh, could you sell me a button for $3? And I'm like, I ain't gonna recover no damn money off of no $3 sales. I'm gonna sell for $5. Or they want me to sell the button for $1. But it cost me $500. And that was my introduction to how do you recover your costs. But that's a $500 machine, which is, again, I could buy that today and not even give a shit about it. That's what I did that then. But when you buy a machine that's $100 million, again, you ain't trying to give out the treatment for $5. I want to make it affordable to the people. And then then the guy says, and I respect this brother, but the brother's like, on a moral level, if it's impacting black people, you should do it. What? No! These people are not our friends. They're not our buddies. If anything, that gives them more reason to go more expensive. But anyway, that's all I can say on that. I see no comments, so we're going to continue. The next one is this. Oh, this is my brother right here, Rap Noir. So back in the day, Rap Noir offered to give me the intro music to my show, but I didn't have bread like that. So, and plus, ain't nobody really watching my show, so I was like, anything. But if you guys can hit up Rap Noir. This is my first time actually hearing him. So he did this right here. Let's do it.
But father, who are the Negroes who have the flag of their oppressor in their bios? Son, these are the Negroes who feel that since they gave so much to the oppressor's project, the colonial project over the years, that they should be afforded some measure of inclusion in the death and destruction that they have wreaked all over the planet. Oh, interesting, father. And also, who are the Negroes who have Indian feathers and eagles and bows and arrows in their profile names? Son, these are the Negroes, so broken, so ashamed of their past, their great glorious past that spans several millennia beyond this short-lived country, that they would steal the names, culture, and valor of another group who was oppressed by the same demons that oppressed them. That doesn't make sense, father. You have to dig deeply into the psyche of the oppressed, son. You must understand these are broken people. But what can we do to help them? We can do nothing. We will do nothing. They must help themselves.
All right, so yeah, I think that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously you might want to... Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. How do you bring Twitter up on your screen? How do I bring... I just log on Twitter. I just share my screen and I have Twitter on my screen. It says, I detest this constant appeal to the moral. Yeah, it don't make any sense. Like that didn't even make any damn sense to me. Like, on a moral level, you would help black people. Because, again, I'll be honest with you guys. On a moral level, white people would not help black people. You know what I'm saying? If a white person's operating on a moral level, which is like let's say self-preservation level, he wouldn't help you. Because again, what did I tell you? I just told you all about the ideal family: home buyer, home keeper, home inheritor. You first off, he doesn't buy houses from you. Like what you want from men is for more men to become home buyers. That's why you encourage men to get work. What you want from women, honestly, is for more of them to be housekeepers. In the sense of, and I'm being honest with you, in the sense of it makes your life a lot easier. Okay? It makes your life a lot easier as a man and as a woman, because again, she doesn't have to worry about buying the house. She doesn't have to worry about buying the house. You know, one of these things these socialists, and we're gonna talk about it. One of these things these socialists want from these women is that they want them to go work and they want them to buy their own houses and they want them so on and so forth. Okay, but I realized again, and we had a poll on YouTube, and I think I had it on Twitter, but I think I had it on Twitter and I had it on YouTube. I'm not sure, but we had a poll where it's like, what if you actually do need a housekeeper? What if you actually do need a housekeeper? What if this workload of going out and making money is actually tiring and stressful? And you can't do two things at once. What if working at home is a full-time job? And again, the woman gets a lot from working at home. She gets a free house. She gets free food. She gets free clothing. She gets an allowance. She gets a fixed wage, essentially. A fixed weekly wage. Fixed, regardless of what she's doing. She gets free sex. And you're going to convince her, oh, she's oppressed because she's not out there working. And here's the thing. They're going to say even wages is oppression. So unless you're making profit, you're losing. But anybody who knows, because I invested in women for businesses, right? Anybody who knows the business world knows that it's not all it's pumped up to be. Unless you are one of the select few who are successful at it or very successful at it, right? You're not winning. Profit is not winning. Wages are more consistent. Profit is inconsistent. When it rains, like for instance, I'll tell you all about the restaurant I have. When it rains, you might have less customer. Right? Not just when it rains, but sometimes, especially in Tanzania, the power just goes out. And when the power goes out, depending on what kind of business you have, people are not going to go into your business. They're not going to sit in the dark and you ain't got nothing to sell. And then they're not going to put no money into what you're doing if you got nothing to sell. So the woman who's out there in the dark, waiting on the lights to come on, or the water to come on, or the this or that, so on and so forth. You're saying that she's a free woman, and I could see why you say she's a free woman, right? But the woman who's at home with her man, and maybe the power might go out of the house, maybe, but but it's not on her. And I can tell you guys, some women in the working world, or in the profit world, in the business world, when they are running low on profit, okay, listen to me. When they are running low on profit, they lose their children. Okay? Now, granted, if a man runs low on profit or a man run on low wages, you could say, well, the same thing's going to happen if the man does that, so on and so forth. Yes, exactly. That's why the man got to fucking hustle. That's why you put it on the man. You say, this is your responsibility. Go and make that damn bread. Because I'm giving you what I got. You understand? Eli says, great point. There's a start your own business fetish among a lot of our conscious people. Yeah, and look, it's okay with a man, I think. Like with the man, it's okay. Although, look, obviously, like I said, wages are more secure. I don't mind you making a big profit when you have your savings on point. One of the most important, that's one thing I'm going to recommend in this book. Because like I said, when we talk about real revolutionary literature, we talking about, look here, get your savings on point. People, I think Brother Bwana said, hey, Oni, how much money are you making that you could go to Africa for 3 months, so on and so forth? I wasn't making no money. I was on savings. I know that's not the best thing in the world to say, but you're supposed to have enough savings that you could go do whatever the fuck you want. Like, if you have enough savings, yeah, you could go to Africa for 3 damn months, and then you could do something even more profitable, like, start your own business. If you have enough savings, that's the whole point. You understand? You're supposed to have your shit together, especially as a man. And then at that point, yeah, you could start a business, because all them people that you all know, all them successful businesses come from a dude. I mean, a lot of them are run by dudes, not just dudes, but women too. But a lot of them are run by these people who have savings. When Bill Gates puts out his money, he had savings. They say, "Oh man, Bill Gates just started off with $100,000." Do you have $100,000 sitting around that you could just invest in your own business? No. I mean, maybe you do. I shouldn't say no, but a lot of us don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't. But when you get to a point where, hey, you know what? I saved up enough money that I could spend, the next year trying to do a business, then we could talk. In fact, the guy who makes so like I said, I'm into video game development. Kofi said he's into it too, so there it is, right? But the guy who makes Vampire Survivor, or the guy who makes I think Thronefall, like, there's a couple of indie game developers who are like, you know what? I'm going to start my indie career. I have enough savings to last me for 6 months. Therefore, I'm going to see in the next 6 months if I can make a profit doing video games. Some of them fail. Some of them succeed. There was this one guy, he was pretty popular. He had a devlog series. And then he was like, hey guys, I'm going to start this Patreon to do my own little RPG thing. And I only have so many savings to last me 6 months. And if this doesn't work, then I'll just go back to my normal job. And it didn't work. He cried. He was sad. Didn't work. He took that risk. You should take that risk when you have the money. A lot of us don't even have the money and we're taking these risks. And that's the big difference. That's the big difference. I was telling my friend, I said, the reason why they call them poor decisions is because, because they make you poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did this woman do? I can't remember, but she was telling me some bullshit that she was doing, like I don't got time for your poor decisions. And it's like, she's like, oh, like, you don't make poor decisions. I'm like, yeah, I could make poor decisions because I'm not poor. You know what I mean? Like I said, I could buy that button machine for $500 because I wasn't poor. $500 won't break me. I could go live in Africa for 3 months. Why? Because I'm not poor. And it was expensive. I mean, I'm building a house right now. It's expensive. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should do that begging shit. It's expensive. But I could do that. Because I'm not poor. But other people are like, hey, you know what? I want to go on vacation right now. What are you going on vacation for? You ain't got no damn savings. You're in debt. And people don't even understand that. But anyway, let me not go too much on that situation. So that's the brother Rap Noir. He's a good brother. You gotta check him out. So I said the black woman, that's me propaganda, blah blah blah. Since I'm kind of thinking, and that was a wasted thing. This was something. Best way to defend the legacy of the Black Panther is to build tangible programs. Yeah, I mean, it is. So let's see. Oh yeah, right here, marry before you carry. A lot of women don't understand that. Again, you gotta understand why you're carrying a child. You're carrying a child, and again, this is not me. This is going back to this guy. He says the child. Everybody just right here. The sons begotten of them received a small share of the paternal inheritance and had the full status of slave. Oh, he's talking about slaves. But, like women, like this is back in ancient Greece. They had slaves back in ancient Greece. Here is no property for the preservation and inheritance of which monogamy and male supremacy were established. Basically, men had children, so they have inheritors. Paternal inheritance is secured by law. Inheritance. You could disinherit people. What are you raising your child to do? To inherit your shit. Because if nobody inherits your stuff, everybody's taking it. Now you might say, well, look, if I'm dead, I don't give a shit. That's fine. Maybe you do give a shit. And people who do give a shit say, okay, I'm going to go have children who are going to inherit these things. So the whole idea of marry before you carry, that's another idea where it's like you're carrying so that you could inherit stuff. So like I said, the woman gets free healthcare, free retirement plan. But if you just carry a person's child without marrying them, you don't get nothing. You just get another expense. But see, if you're not understand, because I tell you, some people just don't understand that. They don't understand that. Celebrity retweet. This is Chuck D talking about Haiti, so it is whatever. This guy's a cornball, but it's weird. I don't have much to say these days. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You guys get it. Lots of losers game. Everybody's gaming. This is a Tanzanian sister. Shout out to Sister Lero who pointed this sister out. I don't know why she did that, but I know you guys want to see, so I'll just look at my... Anyway, so I got a thread for you live today. Just remember when hip-hop had real Indians, and I just made a joke, cultural appropriation. You know, before Friday, I think I want to go out, blah, blah. Here it goes, right here. It says, seriously, what if you're actually supposed to have a housekeeper when you have a house? It sounds crazy, but what if that's actually a basic necessity? People are like, look, that's crazy. So 8% were like, that sounds crazy. What? 26% said, it sounds like you're lazy. Right? But 65% are like, you know what? That's a maybe. You know? Here's my brother, Menchu Hotep. He says, downside of a democracy is that you need a largely educated, enlightened populace to make it function. This is not so many African countries, Nigeria in particular. Now, again, this is a Nigerian person. That's why I can't take Nigerians. You know? You're bigging up democracy for what? Democracies around the world do genocides, invasions, colonization, largely without the consent of their masses. Yet somehow democracy still has the best PR on the planet. Like democracies are largely educated and enlightened. They must be good in bed if folks singing this praise. Menchu Hotep says, this inaccurate, ahistorical understanding of democracy annoys me a little more than communists. Because it's like what? This man is putting down his own country, saying his country is flawed, his people are stupid. Because the Americans are not stupid and they're all enlightened. But if you meet the Americans, you're like, what are you fucking talking about? You know? Again, this is another example of democracies. War in the Congo has kept the planet cooler. A white person actually said this. After all the devastation in the Congo, genocide after genocide, they're going to say, you know what? The world benefits. I have to agree with some white person talking about dehumanization. Not white person, some black person talking about dehumanization. I didn't know what needs to be said, but framing the mass death and displacement of millions of black people as a win for climate change is dehumanizing and racist. I had to agree with this person. Now, I'm not going to say it's racist, but I had to agree with this person. Let me see what the chat's like. Before we continue, Eli's heading out. He says he's gone now. All right, Eli, thanks for coming through. Thanks for being here, brother. So Eli says, this is brilliant, bro. I've got to go and have dinner and hang out with my family now. See what I'm saying? This is a good man. Shout out to this brother, man. Just to say from experience, upkeeping a house is a massive issue in a family marriage. It's a big drain of energy and can be a source of conflict. Having a housekeeper makes total sense to me. Well, that's the thing. So, yeah. So, he said, but yeah, I gotta go now. Yeah, well, so that's the thing. So, how I look at it is this. In the event of a revolution, right? You want a situation where the man is the house buyer and the woman is the housekeeper. The wife is the housekeeper. Now, unfortunately, what we have these days is that because the communists, the communists are pushing this. The wives are in the workforce. Even the capitalists, if you will. The wives are in the workforce. Now, when the wife is in the workforce, the whole framework is different. She's no longer getting free house. She no longer has free retirement. She's paying for everything. Okay? When she starts paying for everything, suddenly her doing all of the housekeeping doesn't add up. You see what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I live with a beautiful woman. I live with a beautiful woman, and she was like, yeah, I live with a beautiful woman, and it's like, yeah, you could have that dichotomy, especially in Africa where you could afford it, where it's like where life is much cheaper, right? Where you could have one person's the housekeeper, one person's the house buyer. You know, but even in that sense, she, you know, what Engels was saying about she's the chief housekeeper, was different in the sense that in Africa you could afford another house help. In fact, even in this house that I'm building, there's a room designated for the house help, according to her. Okay, so she was like, yeah, we should have a bedroom just for you know, like a house girl or something, right? Now I'm not necessarily, you know, I don't really like the idea of a house girl, so you know, hopefully this person could benefit from some sort of education, and of course I could easily. Oh, I don't know speak the language well, but given the fact, if y'all see the progress I made with my son on his homeschooling, I could probably homeschool some unfortunate teenager on so on and so forth. But my point being this, that even if a woman is the chief housekeeper, she is managing other women. You know? Now, the way how ancient Greece had it, you know, framed, you know, it's like, oh, these other women are slaves, and so on and so forth. They're not necessarily slaves, but they're definitely people who are, you know, less fortunate than, let's say, some random American, right? You know, some random American, but like that's just the lay of the land. You know, you can't do anything about it, and a lot of people, unfortunately, here's the trouble with the world, the real world. When you're not entitled, a lot of people are gonna starve. Like I said, my I got good friends whose children, like they lost their children. Like for instance, this woman was like a single mother, and she had to give her child to the father, who didn't even want him. Like give the child to the father's family because she can't afford the kid anymore, because she's not making the sales she wants to. You understand? So like in the real world, you know, life is tough. Food doesn't come to everybody. There's no, oh, well, we should get this procedure for $5,000. We should get this procedure for $2,000. You know, it's got to be affordable. There's nothing like that in the real world. You know? In the real world, people starve to death. Women say, you know what, let me go sell my body to some stranger so I could eat tomorrow. That's the real world. Right? And so a girl saying, okay, my family doesn't want me anymore, I could wash clothes and then eat every day indefinitely. Right? That is thing. Now, I understand the argument, hey, that's not a really fulfilling life. I completely understand that. But I feel like it's more fulfilling than starving to death. Okay? Now, you might say, well, we got to get rid of the system that would starve a person. Yeah, okay. But be in the real world. If you can get rid of systems or systemic poverty or what have you, then do it. In the meantime, there are poor people who need to eat. You understand? In the meantime. Your magical solution, there are poor people that need to eat. So, right here, this is another example. He says, my friend had to close her boutique. Do you understand what it means to start up something you love and have to close it down because of the economy? This is some painful stuff. Very, very painful. And he goes back to, yes, but the profit is better than wages, and wages are better than allowances. So we're told lest we're oppressed, according to the bourgeois Engels and petite bourgeoisie Marx. Basically, this woman earning profits from her boutique. Her boutique underperforms. So then she has to close it down. So she loses all the money she invested, and she now has nothing. When she could have had wages, or she could have had allowance from being married. She could have had allowance from being married. Anyway, so I said, look, no, but seriously, we should get a housekeeper. And he says, yeah, I mean, we have janitors for shared buildings, but suddenly it's weird if it's a private one, a private janitor. It's all infrastructure, all the same. People really gripe with it, the association with wealth. So let's make housekeepers a public utility, right? And of course we can't do that. He's a commie, obviously. But I say, we have teachers to educate children. You have repairmen to fix things around the house. You have farmers to grow food for us. You have hired help if our land is substantial. And I was supposed to show you guys this video back in Tanzania. Oh, you guys should see it. It's so beautiful. But let someone else take my clothes to the laundromat, and I'm a tyrant. If somebody takes my clothes, if I tell a little girl, hey, go take my clothes to the laundromat, I'm a tyrant. Even when I was but here's the reality. When I was washing my clothes by hand in Africa, people told me to hire somebody. They said, what are you doing that for? This is a joke somebody made. It was a Twitch streamer. I didn't know. An AI deepfake technology compiles every serial killer into one man, and then it's like this one guy on Twitch. It's a pretty funny joke, and I just say it sounds about white, you know. So this guy tried to mock me for the house help thing. He's like, I mean, if you're differently abled, I guess you'd need that kind of help. He's like, you know, and this is the thing, because these socialists are the same people trying to say, oh, individualism is so capitalist, right? But it's like you're saying I should be the individual person to, let's say, teach my children. Where is it? Teach my children, repair everything in my house, grow my food, work all my land, right? That's what an individual should do. And then they should also clean all their house. But instead, it's like, no, real life, you hire out the person to educate your child. You hire out this, you hire out that. Why don't you hire out your freaking house help? And again, it's partly because you can't afford it, but you know, and that's how our that's why I say back in the day, back in the beginning, economics is so fundamental to culture. Because it's the fact that you can't afford a house help that makes you feel opposed to house helps. It's the fact that you can't afford it. You know? So anyway, let's go to this one. Downside of democracy. I think I already read that. I said, not gonna lie, I've been sitting in a mess since I returned to America. Cleaning is an art. I don't think I have enough space for my things. Yeah, so I've actually did a little bit of cleaning since then. This right here, shout out to Burkina Faso. He says, France has been relegated to the status of official language to working language in Burkina Faso. Similar changes were made, so on and so forth, in Mali. So you got this brother. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta just take over the state. You gotta seek state control. That's what revolution's about. This is a black network came up with this, the Zoot network. I said, look, without an ideology and an accepted, learned intellectual class, black people will not be able to find their way out of a paper bag. See, because right here you got dark skin versus light skin. This honestly encapsulates where people are ideologically in terms of what makes a good woman. What makes a good woman is she's light skinned. What makes a good woman is that she's dark skinned. What makes a good woman is that she's bad. What makes a good woman is that she's wild. No, again, if you look at it from a philosophical standpoint, you look at it from the housekeeper. Is she a good housekeeper? What is her hygiene like? In fact, we got Sukihana right here. Sukihana is considered a good woman. This woman had urinated on a video. For some reason, I don't know how, but I saw it. Oh my gosh. The discoloration. Like, if you guys, I know some of you, like, what are you even talking about that? But if you guys know about, like, you ever saw sewer water? You know how, like, sometimes you turn on the water and you got lead in your water or some shit like that? Like, that kind of color was coming out of this woman's vagina. I know, I shouldn't be talking about it, but like, that's the thing I gotta give to Tanzania. Especially my wife. I'll give it to my wife too. But I say wife, right? But what I would say is this. The women in Tanzania have excellent feminine hygiene. Like, excellent feminine hygiene. To the point where you start remembering that you were messing with women who didn't. Like, you were messing with, like, I used to mess with women who you could smell the vag. Like you could smell it. You don't gotta be near it. You could smell it. And then back in the day, you probably thought, oh man, that's good. You know, it's just right. The women in Tanzania, you can't smell anything. because they are so hygienic, and I mean all social classes, so hygienic with that part of their body. It's ridiculous. Every time that they urinate or use the bathroom, anything, they take they're next to the toilet. There's a spray you could use. They spray the vag. You know, I don't know what else they do in terms of cleaning because, you know, again, I'm not them. You know, but after every sexual intercourse, in fact, every time you bust a nut or you know, every time you pull out, whatever, right? She's washing that vag. No odor whatsoever. And I know some of you are like, "Hey man, I never met a woman who had an odor." Okay, good for you, man. Good for you, right? But you know, I could vaguely remember, you know, the smell, you know, and again, I wasn't that bad back in the day, but the fact that I can't even think of a smell from a Tanzanian woman tells me everything I need to know. You know, this is Great House, a brother from another mother. He says, after a time, Osiris asked Horus what he held to be the most noble of all things. When Horus replied, to avenge one's father and mother for evil done to them. When Horus heard this, he was much pleased. And this was on the, you know, Book of Coming Forth by Day. So this is Jorde Rashada. She says, WTF is this? Let's see now. Ghetto ratchet, colorism, degradation, sexual objectification. Yes, the future looks very bleak. This is a bit of medicine was talking about this. Some dude from I say brother. Some dude from Ohio decided to attack Haitians. You know, but again, I don't want to go too much on whatever. About 75% of population in Uganda is below the age of 30. And again, you see, this is the real life situation. This is a situation, a bunch of children in a whole country. What do you expect of these girls to do to survive to the next day? See, because a lot of us don't realize this. In the West, if you want to survive to the next day, you have two choices. One, go beg the white man. And two, die. Starve. Okay? You got two options. Go beg the white man or starve. In Africa, you don't have the same two options. You can't just go beg the white man, hey, I apply for this job. So a lot of people are starving. And that's not a good thing. That's not a great thing. But it is a thing. Here's a story about some lady who, some guy snuck into her house, so she tried to stab him. Oh, she stabbed him. And now all of a sudden she got arrested for attempted murder. I want to see the update on that. This is a video on Niger. So like I said, you guys check out my my Twitter and all that. So he says Rwandans now have, and so this is another one. You got this guy Kagame doing some good stuff, but everybody essentially he hasn't always done good stuff, allegedly. That's what people are saying. And because he hasn't always done good stuff, it's like, don't even show me this. But it's like, we got to come to terms with, okay, you didn't do good stuff before. If that's even the case. Right? You didn't do good stuff before. Okay. This is a video about, this is actually a pretty interesting video, but obviously I can't play audio and shit, but in Niger, they're one of the fastest growing economies now partly because they changed the price they were selling uranium at. So France was buying uranium from Niger at like 80 cents an ounce or some shit. And France was selling it for $200 an ounce. And so now Niger is like, oh, no. I'll sell it for $200 an ounce. And everybody's like, okay, cool. It cost me the same amount of money. But now Nigeria could see the profit. That's a good thing. And that's why I say, you get state power. This is why you're not going to have revolutionaries in America. Let's go back to that. You're not going to have revolutionaries because you're not going to get state power. There were, I mean, I didn't post on it. I didn't talk about it. But there's now a pushback on black Americans because of what they're doing, what's happening with the Palestinian situation. You know, basically, black Americans are standing, on a global stage with America, on a global stage with America. And so people are kind of peeping game. They're saying, the fuck is this shit? But the reason why they're doing it is because they're not going to get state power anyway. If they do get state power, they're just going to do whatever the white boy tells them to anyway. How you going to get revolutionaries out of that? See, this right here, what this man's doing, because, matter of fact, Great House used to brag about showing off the uranium Niger thing. You know, like how uranium, like how Niger was showing off uranium, blah blah, right? But it don't matter if you're showing that off. What matters is if you come up to the freaking state and do it. And that's what this brother. That's what this brother does. But anyway, you got Rwanda. This is how they make crab sticks. So it's a pretty interesting process. But everybody's kind of wondering where was the crab. Anyway, Tyler, shout out to my brother Tyler Gnostic. Let me see if the comments are going. We got RBG in the building. RBG, real black gentleman's here. Redemption matters. Greeting fan. Yeah, exactly. Like you gonna hate on this man for 10 years? Like, come on. Kagame has made himself the de facto president for life. KW.7 says, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Because Kagame put it this way. Because I haven't looked too much into Kagame. Because it's harder to, like, I don't know. I stopped listening to lectures, honestly. But, like, when I do listen to these lectures, I'll tell y'all, I'm impressed. Like, a lot of these leaders in Africa, I'm impressed. Like, those brothers in Nigeria, those brothers in Burkina Faso, I'm impressed. I don't know what they did 10 years ago. But what they're doing today, I'm impressed. So when I hear Kagame, right? Kagame is like, people are telling him, oh, go for democracy. And he's like, oh, okay. Why? They're like, well, they say, oh, like they're like, choose a successor. Here are the successors that you should choose, and these are the people that would run in the election. And these are people who are going to win. And so Kagame is like, that's not an election, that's a selection. And the Westerners are going to select the winner of the election. And that's what people are not getting. Every freaking democracy you know of, the Westerners are selecting the leaders. So Kagame is saying to himself, look, I got a brain between my two ears. What am I giving up power for? And actually, like let's go back to David Don 7 and saying, right? In the history of this planet, men have not been giving up their power. There were no such thing as term limits. Look at ancient Egypt. Were there term limits in ancient Egypt? There were men who said, hey, look, my son's ready or I'm retiring and I'm going to give it to my son. Like I said, the inheritance. My son's going to inherit. Nobody had term limits before the Americans, more or less. Maybe the ancient Greeks, maybe some Athenians, so on and so forth. But pretty much nobody had term limits before the Western Americans. Right? And because remember, America was a colony of Britain. And we're talking about the big leaders. I don't know. Maybe governors had term limits. I don't know. But America was a colony of Britain, and Britain had a king. France had a king. Germany had a king. Shaka Zulu, was a king. Blah, blah. Everybody said, look, I'm the leader until otherwise. Kagame says, I'm the leader until otherwise. That's what everybody says. Like, even England has their royal family to this day. They brag about being the oldest line of monarchy on the planet to this day. To this day. But nobody, like the Queen of England, she was the queen. She was the queen since like 1940s. Like, she was the queen since the World War or some shit. She was the queen fighting. I'm not gonna say she was fighting Hitler, but maybe she was. I don't know. Like, she go back to that time. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody bats an eye. Yeah, Putin and Xi are the two best leaders on the planet who aren't black. You know what I'm saying? Like, Africa would benefit greatly from intelligent, strong leadership. And I think that's one of the points about my book. If like, for instance, let's say KW.7. If KW.7 became the leader, the president of a country, he could do good work for 4 years. And after those 4 years is done, he can continue doing good work. After those 8 years is done, he can continue doing good work. Now, maybe he might get up there in age and say, you know what, I got to step down. That's good for him. But the reality is, I don't see why we would put a time limit on a brother if he was doing good work. And I mean, like I said, I don't know Kagame's relationship with the Congo, so I can't speak on it. Some people say he invaded the Congo a decade ago, right? But what he did for Rwanda was good. There was a genocide going on, and he had to mobilize his military force, and he had to get rid of that bigotry and the violence going on. That's good. That's a good thing to do. To stand up to the violence and put it down, and then get your country running up and running. Now, granted, some people say, hey, he's a Western puppet. You think if he did a democracy that there wouldn't be a Western puppet right after him? Real Black Gentleman says, monarchy is intended to rule until an opponent takes over and that establishes another monarchy, or is taken over by another opponent. Exactly. But that's how it's supposed. If I'm running the shit, I'm not supposed to step down and then open the door to the Western world to put a bunch of money into a candidate they like. Because best believe they like some candidates in Rwanda already. And they told Kagame this. They said, oh yeah, we got some candidates waiting to run after you. So Kagame's like, okay, well, I'm not running. I'm not fucking up in my election then. You know, like you talk about Putin and Xi Jinping, and you know, shout out, respect to KW7. I'm not trying to think, but you talk about Putin and Xi Jinping. You think the Western world doesn't have a candidate they backing against Putin? You think the Western world don't got a candidate they backing against Xi Jinping? Of course they do. And when they talk about democracy, what they're talking about is letting in that candidate. They're not talking about letting in the next revolutionary who got no damn financial support. They're talking about opening democracy so we can put our people in there. You know? We like you, man, but we like this guy better. And the West does this consistently because that's what happened to Nkrumah. Nkrumah's talking about democracy. They put up a motherfucker right after him. The guy tore down everything Nkrumah did. And Nkrumah could have made the best damn nation in Africa. I was going to say on the planet, but I'll say in Africa. He could have made the best damn nation on the planet, but he was naive. And naivete don't work. Don't win you nothing. Yeah, be president for life. Absolutely. Don't be naive and try to fall for the American experiment, because America has had leaders put up, has been selecting, has had money selecting its leaders for the last 300 years. So if it's good for America, it's not good for you, because it's not even good for America. America hasn't had an honest election in the last, look at this. You can't even run an election in America without big money. Half the people you see running for election, sometimes you see people say, they're not even on the ballot. Like, you go to a certain state, they're not even on the ballot. They can't win. Only 2 people can win the U.S. election any given year. Only 2 people can win the U.S. election any given year, because you can't even get on the ballot. Because the ballots are state by state. And you there's no way to get on the ballot of 50 states if you don't have any damn money. You can't even get on the ballot in order for me to I did an election. I did a political party thing. Like, I wasn't a leader, I was just a worker, right? But we did the election for the Freedom Party, right? And I think I can show you guys. I think I show you guys this all the time, but sometimes you go back in the past and you remember your life, right? So this is my website. Like I told you guys, we have the Freedom Party, right? Good platform, a good platform. Well, I mean, back in the day it was okay, right? Oh, that was it right here. Freedom Party. Oh, it was interview of freedom retreaters, Freedom Party, ABS. Let's look at this one, right? African blood siblings in the Freedom Party. So I tell you guys, we had this. In order to get, matter of fact, good. The Freedom Party is a political party initiated by the attorney at war, Alton Maddox Jr. Its earliest campaign was in 1994, though I became involved in 2010. I'm writing this in 2011. In order for the Freedom Party to gain ballot status, it needed 50,000 votes in the 2010 election. But since votes in New York City are counted by the police, it didn't make the 50,000 votes. Worse, the gubernatorial candidate, Charles Barron, unbeknownst to most of us, is not the sort to sue the police for this clear abuse, i.e., for example, he's on their payroll. It would have been different if he run a different candidate. Now, I don't know why. So yeah, that was my article back in the day. Basically, Ultimatus was saying this dude was on the payroll, but whatever. My thing is this. This is the Freedom Party's candidates. The candidates. The point was that in order for you to get the 50,000 votes, you obviously had to be on the ballot, right? And a lot of these videos got taken down. Michael Lloyd was our attorney, this one, and so forth. This is why I said about, you got to back up your stuff. But, hopefully we can take that brother's advice and use the Wayback Machine. Freedom Party, Fannie Lou Hamer, and Marcus Garvey. Was this an article by... Anyway, the point was that in order to have gotten on the ballot, right, you had to have, I think 15,000 signatures or something like that, 20,000 signatures, in order for that you could get on the ballot. All right? So we had to put in a lot of time and energy, right, in order to get on the ballot of the country. So this was the Freedom Party's working agenda. So we collected 49,000 signatures, but only got 14,000 votes of the 50,000 votes we needed. So we had to go to every district of New York, Albany, Buffalo, this, so on and so forth. We had to go to every one of them and collect a certain amount of ballots. We collected 49,000 signatures. I think we only needed 20,000, but we collected 49,000 signatures, only got 14,000 votes. And this was a explicitly black pop. This was explicitly black. This was our Freedom Party agenda working document. We were at the debates and everything. Look at this right here. This is 2010. Remember, this is 2010. Okay? Reparations for descendants of enslaved Africans. Call for a plan of reparations for those of African ancestry, a support of affirmative action. 2010. And we and black folk didn't even support it. And I was going around trying to get signatures myself. I got a few. But one time I told his brother after when the election day, I was like, come vote for this Freedom Party. He's like, aren't we already free? Pissed me off at the time. And look, I'm not saying he's not free. Pissed me off nonetheless. Sorry, let me go to the comments. Why did I even bring this up? I don't even know. Let me see the comments. Sorry. Oh yeah, so we talking about presidencies and for life. Yeah, but no, the point is this: that a lot of people running for office, you can't there's no way you're gonna get signatures in every freaking district of every single city of every single country of every single state in America, or so many signatures in every state of America if you don't have money. Because that means you got a campaign in Ohio. You got a campaign and mobilize in Ohio. You got a campaign and mobilize in Florida. You got a campaign and mobilize in New York. You got a campaign and mobilize in Mississippi. You got a campaign. You gonna do that on what? On what money? So you can't even win in a democracy situation. And it's the same in Africa. You can't win. The only one that can win are capital. Are money. People with a lot of money, a lot of connection with the media, they can win they do win every election. A lot of people say, oh man, but Trump was an outsider. Trump's a millionaire. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's a millionaire. He's rich. He was a celebrity icon. For decades. He's rich. Arnold Schwarzenegger can win. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger's rich. You are not. And a lot of people in Africa are not. The brother who's the president of Niger right now, or the brother who's president of Burkina Faso right now, right? Were they rich? How would they become leaders of Africa if they did not do the coup? How? Real Black Gentleman says, monarchies have 10, 30 days, 30 kings, period, in Kemet, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. There were no term limits. Nobody's sitting around waiting to... 30 days, 30 kings means coup after coup after coup after coup. Because that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a damn man, this is what we got to realize. If you're a damn man and you're under a situation that you don't want to be under, you should get the fuck up. You understand? Well, you should assess the situation. Can I get the fuck up? So in Egypt at that point in time, in those 30 days, they were like, yo, I could, the guy who just took over, I could take him over. Oh, the guy who just took over, I could take him over. But like sometimes you look at a chief and you say, you know what, I can't take this motherfucker over. And that's fine. That's fine. You either move or you live with it, but that's fine. You don't bitch about it. That's for damn sure. You don't bitch about it. Well, let's keep going. So he says, so I told 2 people in Tanzania to do karaoke in this space, and both said, oh yeah. So he said, last week I'm doing karaoke using, I saw my niece doing karaoke using a smartphone. That's pretty cool. That's my brother Gnostic. So I said, lunatics, why doesn't anyone come to America and help us? And this is the same lunatic. He's stabbing folk. What's this one? He says, about 38% of the world's newest billionaires are rich because of their family. Right? And I said, look, right here. This is just I know in Africa. I said, cool. But show how many poor people are poor because of their family. See, if you don't know what you're supposed to do with your family, then that's why you fucked up. I said, look, reminds me of this sister in Africa. She put a status how she has no help, and so basically, her nephew's medical bills were so expensive that she was asked by her family to pay for the medical bills, and the boy died anyway, and she's still paying for those bills. That's what happens in real life. A lot of people, like, in order for you to move ahead on this planet, you gotta start making sense. Like even this, like some sister, matter of fact, just wrote me from Ghana. She's like, "Hey, I'm raising funds for Let me see if I can find it because she just wrote me, and I had to tell her, what the fuck are you doing that for? She says, I am soliciting funds for my project on the 25th. We're giving food out to street kids. We want to add sanitary towels as well. And I said, that's very nice, but you should focus on business or something. Because again, with women, I said, no, you focus on business or something. Poor people can't help poor people. Or just get a husband. You know what I mean? You get a husband, then you could do all the charity work you want. When you hitting up strangers, hey, I want to do charity, and you ain't got no damn money. I said, get a husband or get a business. Go do something with your fucking life. Because poor people can't help poor people. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, when it's actualized, you'll be proud. Ain't nobody gonna be proud of you wasting your damn time and your damn money. You're poor. Focus on getting your savings together. Focus on improving your life. Focus on building a home, buying a house for a woman, or keeping a house for a man. Focus on that. Oh, I'm gonna go feed the kids. For what? They're gonna be hungry tomorrow. Like I said, with regard, like we don't understand. Like if you don't go to Africa, you don't understand. But a lot of people are hungry. A lot of people are starving. But we gonna just keep going. I'm trying to get to the socialist conversation I had. But he says they turn. Oh yeah, right here. This is another one. So let me see. So basically, y'all can see it's probably a Jewish guy. I'm not gonna play the audio because whatever reason. But basically, he's like, look, these people right here are working. They're looking for diamonds or something, right? Now look at this labor. This is not intense labor. This is not risky labor in the least. Now maybe there's a risk that the guy's not showing. But I don't want to play the audio. But like basically it looks like it's a bunch of dirt. They're shoveling the dirt. They put the dirt through a machine to sift out the diamonds. And then let me see, I can probably play it on 2 times speed. Yeah. They this is 1.75, but all right. Look, they gather the dirt, they clear it, they look for diamonds. If they find a diamond, they sell it to this guy. Okay, they sell it to this guy because he's like, look, we could just make diamonds in the lab, but instead of making diamonds in the lab, we're buying the diamonds from these people, and then they could open schools and shit, right? And again, maybe he's not giving them a fair price, but like, pay attention to this. If you brag about how Africa has so much wealth, so much diamonds, so much mineral wealth, and this blah blah, then you want African people to sell the diamonds to these people, or to keep them and make them. But you want them to sell the diamonds. You want them to find the diamonds and sell them. If you're saying that Africa's so rich, now he's like, they turn blood diamonds into support black communities. Capitalist propaganda is insane. So you say to yourself, look. Normally I'd agree, but I'm confused what people mean by Africa's rich in minerals. If they don't like mining for and selling diamonds. If you don't want people mining and selling diamonds, what's the point? And I guess there were hazardous mining conditions that weren't shown in the video, but otherwise I normally see blood diamonds as under equipment. Like, the problem with blood diamonds is you're putting people's life at high risk for low pay. Or you're putting children's lives at high risk for nothing. This wasn't no high risk labor. This is a bunch of poor people looking through dirt for gold. I mean, what do you think mining looks like? Now, I don't know if this was the full picture. Obviously, I don't think it is, because that looked pretty damn safe. Now, I wouldn't do it, but it looked pretty damn safe. But still, so somebody said Venezuela orders the state to exploit gas and oil in Guyana. And I said, it's only crazy if you believe socialism to be positive, but I won't go too much to that. It's not a thing. This is me talking about Noel, the holiday. So I'll never understand black people who say the holiday is when they mean Noel. Some sources reason that the Winter Solstice Festival was organized by Ram in celebration of the Aryan invasion of ancient India back when India was black. Maybe untrue, but why celebrate with Europe? So this is a chapter you guys can read on your own if you want. Like I said, I'm just looking through my own Twitter page. You know what I mean? I'm just looking through my own Twitter page. So you guys can follow, like, subscribe, or whatever. And, you could get into the conversation. But, there's no point in me, like, going too deep into it. President Tinubu doing another piece of bullshit. He's spending $10 billion on 10 billion nairas on trips in 2024. 200 million is to feed rock animals. And it's like, yeah. And this is what I'm saying about life. If you don't take your leadership seriously, your leadership won't take you seriously. They elected this man. This guy was a former drug dealer in Chicago. A gangbanger in Chicago. Chicago, America. Okay? Chicago, Illinois, America. And they still elected him, so who gives a shit? This is me. I said, women who say men use them for money, why don't you just buy lubricants? A lot of them are talking about men using them for money. Like, fucking losers. I ain't gonna disrespect y'all, but, like, for real. Hey, let's say you, what's this right here? Oh, yeah, somebody said Tinubu won the election. And I said, look, because basically, no, Obi won the election. So Obi says, I read with sadness the devastating report of the, oh, no, this is actually pretty bad. Basically, in Nigeria, Tinubu's government, they had a Nigerian army bombed a village, killing 80 people in Nigeria. So Nigerian Air Force essentially bombed their own village, bombed the Nigerian village, killed 80 people for no fucking reason. Your whole life lost because of some fucking stupid government. Like, you guys don't know how, like, I tell you, there was a video, I don't know why Brother Bit of Medicine retweeted it. I was like, what the fuck? But there's a video of this girl, because sometimes you're not supposed to report people dying, like, repost people dying, but for some reason, Bit of Medicine just retweeted some lady dying. But some Chinese girl was just standing, I guess, in China, and I guess the building was under construction, I don't know. But an air conditioner just killed her. Fell down on top of her head, she died. 20 years old. Lost her life. For nothing. For nothing. That was bad. And I'm saying that even though I'm not even like a fan of Chinese food. That was bad. That's not as bad as your own country dropping bombs on you and your family for nothing. So I told Peter Obi, you should have been president. You should have been president. You should have been president. And this guy says, Peter Obi actually won the presidential election, but Tinubu used the very criminal electoral body, INEC, and Nigeria's shamelessly corrupt judges to steal power. And I said, look, that's the problem then. Let's say you're right. Then what kind of leader doesn't seize their authority in the consent of the majority? If Obi won the election, and people are saying, nah, he didn't really win it. But if he won the election, why didn't he seize the authority? Black people need to start discussing backbones. Why run an election? Why run in a fucking election and win, and then sit back and let the loser rule for 4 years? And get out of fucking politics. And you have no fucking backbone. You know what I mean? If I go to the Olympic Games, let's say I go to the Olympic Games. Let's say, matter of fact, 'cause I'm Jamaican, I could brag about it. But let's say, let me see, who could I bring up today? All right, we'll bring up Real Black Gentleman. So me and Real Black Gentleman, I'm Jamaican. Real Black Gentleman, I don't know where he's from, but let's just say he's not Jamaican, right? So me and Real Black Gentleman in the Olympic race, we go to the sprinting. We got 10 seconds to cross 100 meters. You know, I'm not saying I could do 100 meters in 10 seconds. Oh, sorry, not 100 meters, 10 meters, right? We got, was it 100? No, it's 100 meters, right? What is it? I think it's 100 meters. I'm not going to win, right? No, 100 meters. You got 100 meters, so you got 10 seconds to cross that 100 meters, and then you'll be the Olympic time. Now, I'm not going to do no 100 meters, but I'm going to say, but let's just pretend. Because I say I'm Jamaican, right? Me and Real Black Gentleman go to the field. I come out on top. I'm first place. Then they give Real Black Gentleman the gold medal. And I say, okay, that's fine. Then why the fuck am I going? Why am I even talking about track anymore? What about, like, what kind of a stupid person am I? I should just be done with the fucking subject altogether. If I win the race, I get first place. That's it. And so people are telling me Peter Obi won the election. If you won the election, then you should take your first place. If you don't take your first place, you're a damn pussy. And you had no business running in a damn election. Cause what you gonna run for and you're not going and you win? Like if you're not running to win, and if you my thing is this. It's okay to run and not win. That's okay. It's not okay to run, win, and then not take your damn position. Because what the fuck were you running for? And this is another thing. This is another indictment of democracy. I'll tell you this. Another indictment. Because again, Tinubu was the Western-backed candidate. The judges and all that kind of shit are the Western-backed candidate. This is why if Paul Kagame steps back, sure, he might get one person behind him. But I don't know. Right? But eventually, everything is going to shift to the side of capital. And the people with the capital are the people printing it. Go back to Sal. The people with the capital are the people printing it. So our brother responded. He said, look, he didn't actually win. Voter turnout was too low for him to win. Had there been less voter apathy, then he would have won. Okay, well, again, that's on the people of Nigeria. I feel sad about this story, honestly. Because, see, I could have been in that village. Imagine being in your village. Like, you don't even understand what I'm saying. You in a village. You're not even in the city. You're not bothering anybody. Like, if you guys never been to a village, I could probably show you guys a video. But if you guys never been to a village, it's just plain old, repetitive, boring living. Somebody just comes out of nowhere and bombs the shit out of you. You're dead forever for nothing. You're dead forever for nothing. Right? I want to get to the socialist conversation, but I want you guys to. I wish I had these. Let me just see if I could. Oh shit! You guys can't see that. Yeah, boy. And y'all know that, right? But let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to find this. Because once upon a time I was trying to do this podcast, and I had a bunch of videos on the ready for you guys, and I actually went over most of them, But then I think the video, like the video got lost or something. Not the video got lost, but I had to delete. Oh yeah, this might be it. I had to delete a few of them, but yeah. So I'll tell you, I got the. Like I said, you want to go get married. Marriage is the best thing you want to do, right? So I told 2 people in Tanzania to try to do karaoke. Oh yeah. This time for talk has ended. The time for talk has ended. Separating Kemet from Kush. This is Kamji. Remember the Kamji verse. Make sure you guys check him out. The time for separating Kemet from Kush is like separating North Korea from South Korea. The same people with political differences, right? Man, if there were me. Oh yeah, this is what I'm saying. That's why I can't. Like again, it goes back to it. Like ugh. Every time you see news out of America, you just like, what the fuck are they doing? Look at this right here. Imagine with me, damn. Y'all have it rough in the United States, and he had a gun. Ain't no way. Look at this shit, man. This is a damn black man being held down by a little white woman. Cop uses stun gun on handcuffed compliant black man. Compliant black man. When the man clearly in pain and crying, she warns, "Do you want it again? Shut your bitch ass up." Shit. Shit. This is why I can't even mess with y'all in America, man. Y'all letting white girls punk bitch you out. And I looked at the article. The dude had a gun. Are you kidding me? Like this white man is laughing his white ass off because he's like y'all remember inside of Hit Him Up? So Brother McCarthy delete his video. We would listen to Hit Him Up. And Hit Him Up, at some point Tupac says, "Y'all ain't even on my level. I'm going to let my little homies ride on you." This is what the white man said. The white man's like, you, black man, are not even on my level. You have a gun. You're still not on my level. I'm going to let a little white girl manhandle you. And she don't just manhandle you. She going to tell you while you crying like a bitch. And, you know, that's on you. She going to say, "Do you want it again? Shut your bitch ass up." Damn. And then all black people could do is be like, she was so bad for that. She was so wrong. Oh my gosh. Yeah? This is what she did to us. Oh, a cop did this. Like, you, like, I ain't even, like, I can't, like, no, but, like, I don't understand. Why would somebody respect us? One, you there on the World Forum, standing up with everything America's doing, every fuck shit America's doing, you standing up like you motherfucking Japan. But see, Japan gets money. You broke. Japan gets money at least. Japan gets something from their agreement with America. You know, Israel gets something from their agreement with America. You don't. You get treated like a piece of shit where they send their fucking woman 4 foot tall to manhandle your 6 foot tall ass with a fucking stun gun and tell you a bitch to your face. To your face. Disgraceful. Like, no, man. Like shit. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? My Johnny said, "LOL." Kofi said, "LOL." Yeah, I mean, but I'll just be honest though. Are you kidding me? Like, and look, I get it though. I get it because I know ancestors forbid. Right? I'm gonna use my religion. Kobe said, "This is not real life." Oh, you think it's fake? I don't know. I think it's real. I don't think it's real life, like, you know, like something that I would really do. But I think it's a real thing. But my thing is this, and like even if somebody made that up, why would you make that up about yourself? Like I said, that like. You like I'm reluctant to say that wouldn't happen to me because in fact I shouldn't even say that it wouldn't happen to me, right? Because I know that at one point somebody like I knew somebody getting arrested and I had to stand aside like a bitch. And I mean there were women cops there, and like yeah, you got to stand aside like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about America where they're going to put you in a situation where you look like a stupid ass bitch, and then most of your people are like, like they're bitching about it. Cause see this post, cause for me, if this happened to me, like I tell you guys, just let it happen. Don't even talk about it. Don't even show it. Like I said, I was in a situation where some other dude was getting arrested, not me. But like, yeah, I don't. There's no video of me standing aside like some doofus. You know, there's nobody talking about. You know, while this shit happens, like you. Matter of fact, real talk. In that situation, I wasn't no bitch. I mean, they still arrested the dude, but I wasn't a whole bitch. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, but like this situation where the dude got a stun gun. No, when the dude is being held down by a 4 foot tall woman, right? And like that's all. That's one. And I get it. You gotta, you know, like, all right, fine. You got arrested by a 4 foot tall woman. Just keep it. Mum's the word. Keep it silent. Nope. You crying like cause that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm in a situation where a 4 foot tall woman can just walk away with me, I understand why. You know, there's some sort of authority in place. You know, and I just go along with it. I'll shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I'll shut the fuck up. I'll be like, okay, ma'am, you caught me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in your country. I broke the law. You caught me. I'll go in quietly. Ain't no damn way I'm gonna be fighting and losing. If I'm fighting a woman and I'm losing, are you fucking kidding me? It reminded me of back when I was in high school. So I got some good genetics. I ain't gonna hold you guys. Part of my genetics was that I was just a little bit stronger than the average. Okay? Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, there are some people who are just a little stronger than the average. A little faster than the average. All that kind of shit. So, I kind of, like, I might have came from athletes. You know, like, actually, both my parents were track, you know, track people. But, like, even back in the day, I might have came from, you know, athletes, warriors, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that I could still do damage, because I probably can't. But what, you know, back in the day, pound for pound, I was pretty strong for my age, right? You know, for my age group, you know, for kids, right? And you know what I'm talking about. A strong kid is a strong kid. He's not strong, you know, and he might not be a strong adult, but as a child, you guys know what I'm talking about. There are some kids who are just stronger. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying just how genetics works, right? Some things just happen, right? So, I used to arm wrestle the football team, right? Or I used to arm wrestle the tall guys, and I'd win, right? It came to a point where, like, the only person that could challenge me was some Pakistani kid who was really practicing to, like, challenge me. You know what I'm saying? And I think eventually he does win after, you know, because nobody's really training in high school, you know what I'm saying? But he was training, right? I think he beat me in arm wrestling at some point or something, or, you know, we got tired or some shit. But my point is this. Football team, I arm wrestled them. But I remember this one guy who was like 6'4" back in high school or some shit, right? Or 6'8" or some shit, I don't know, right? He, after I beat him in arm wrestling, I told him, "You're big for nothing." And I remember saying that. It was mean. It was, people say I was a bully or some shit, right? But I was like, you're big for nothing. Like, what's the point of being big and you can't do nothing? Now fast forward to this guy. Being a damn, look at this guy's, like, look at his, oh shit, I didn't want to click the TMZ link. But look at his arm. That's I mean, obviously, you know, anybody who body builds might say, well, his shoulders are underdeveloped. His, you know, his chest is, you know, obviously concave or some shit. You know, he doesn't really have a chest. But look at this woman. Now maybe, I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe this is a forearm. I don't know. Looks like it's just a coat. But this is a 4 foot tall woman. This is a 6 foot tall man. And I'm just making up the heights. Obviously, she's probably not 4 feet, and obviously he's probably not 6 feet. But she could just hold him down. And I know you said, well, it's the stun gun. Well, if you know she has a tactical advantage, a technological advantage, then just follow along, because this right here you look fucking pathetic. That That makes you pathetic. And then you got a whole woman telling you, shut your bitch ass up. Like, shit. Because I'm just like, because I'm looking at him. And like, part of me is thinking to myself too. Like, just, like, you can't see it, but you guys can hear him. You hear it. Like, you hear that. Right? You hear it. And so part of me is also thinking to myself, man, shut your bitch ass up. like, shut your bitch ass up. I mean, I don't use the B word. You know what I'm saying? I don't use the B word. But like, I could see it. I'm not trying to side with the police neither. But I'm just telling you, I could see it. What is with this dude? Ugh, like fucking A, man. And I tell you guys, he had a firearm on him. So he had a gun. He could have had the drop on her. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying he could have. Right? But he didn't. Instead, he got taken in like a motherfucking bitch. So I understand why this woman did that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying I understand. Hey, let's go. I don't know why I'm coughing. So this is my sister, Mimi. Now she's working for China. Like, she got to be working for China. But she says Marx is letting this too. But yeah, she says I fear love, and I said don't do that, sweetie. You already know. This is some ad I saw when they said find out how you can start your own business and get FBA to do the heavy lifting for you, right? And I said I know it's not what it is, but it's on the nose if it was, you know. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, tough crowd. Hope citizens around the world are watching. Mali, Burkina Faso, you already know. So weird coming back to America. You just cross the street whenever. This is what it looks like in American subways, by the way. Look at all these white folk. You know, all these, I look like all like they Arab or Latino, but yeah, that's what it looks like. This is Paris has lost its identity. This blah blah blah. This was the alleged Sahel region. So this guy draws really well, and so he draws these 3 countries: Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. He erases the borders, and he's like, this is a new country coming in. Now this is a military alliance as far as I can tell, but you know, keep your eyes on the space. It might be a new country. This is Tinubu. You guys should listen to this. I can't show you guys the whole thing, but like I said, black folk want to be on the table, and then we put these people in the front. This guy's talking nonsense to quote unquote world. Like, this is John Kerry. He was like a president. I don't know if he was the president or not. I don't think so, but I think he was the presidential candidate or some shit, right? And all that kind of shit. This is my brother Christopher. He's telling me to keep the good work. I tell you guys, I'm making progress in my writing. Nigerian killed 126 civilians. Right? Nigeria killed its own citizens. Anyway, Congo is bleeding. This is my son. He was doing. I started doing pixel artwork for him. I told him to do art class, so I got him a pixel program, and he was drawing Mr. Skinner. Anyway, this is something else. Oh yeah. This is about some woman feeling her business. This is landslide in Tanzania, but that's a landslide. That's not, you know, you bombing your own people. Let's see. This is South Africa. They are importing Somali people as slaves, pretty much. Burkina Faso banned propaganda. Most fundamental law in relationship, private and public, is if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's it. This is another example of democracies. You know, this is how U.S. bombed Laos with 580,000 bombs. Bombing missions, not 580,000 bombs. Honestly, oh, somebody said they might be pregnant. This is some creepy ass shit, but it's not really that creepy. I'm trying to get to the socialist conversation. Let's see, the thing I talked about, math pedagogy. Oh, my son. Yeah, this guy is so good at math, y'all. He's so good at math. You guys can read this yourself, but like basically, if I asked him 76 times 8 in 30 seconds, he could tell me 608 with no calculator. And he's 8 years old. You know, so now I advanced the math. I think I should have showed you guys how to do that, but how to make your own program so you could do math problems too. But like I just do random numbers. Like I have a random number generator, and I just multiply it and then show the answers and all that kind of stuff. Make him input the answers, not multiple choice, but like, you know, put down 608 and then it's correct, right? And if it's not 608, it's like 607, it's going to be wrong, and he has to answer the question again. And so I have him like doing like 76 times 8 plus 13, 79 times 4 plus 40, I keep saying 7, I'm so used to 83 times 5 plus 61, and he could do that in his head. It's pretty impressive. I'll tell you the truth. Having an adult male go on a diatribe about how messed up their life is currently, but not acknowledge it as their fault, is pitiful. Yeah, there's regular lazy, and then there's I eat out of paper plates in my own home because I don't want to wash dishes lazy. And so that's our brother, from Harsh Reality Podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe. This is D-Web. He's like, I'm like, shit. I don't be watching no dishes, man. But all right, so here's another one. So this is a socialist conversation, I guess. It says, look, a necessary part of socialism is capitalism. Does that mean African nations should go through the capitalist stage, or is there a bypass it? And so I don't get this brother. He's like a socialist. But it's like a necessary part of communism is a highly industrialized nation, but communism is a scam, and hyper-exploitative capitalism isn't necessary to be highly industrialized. Africans can industrialize without HEC. Issue is not enough of us participating in industrialism, right? So again, all you gotta do is manage your money right, and then you could hire people. All you gotta do is manage your money right, and you can hire people. And if you make enough profit, you could build machines. And if you make enough machines, you'll be a highly industrialized nation. That's it, straightforward. But the white boy, the Marx and Engels, they convinced you, well, the only way to get that way is to get to do capitalism, and then you got to take it away. But it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Basically this, I go make a restaurant or whatever. Let's say I go and start making car parts. I buy some machines, I make car parts. I sell those machines, and then eventually I make enough money that I'm not just making car parts, I'm manufacturing cars. I build enough, and then I'm manufacturing cars and vehicles and planes, whatever, right? Now I get a whole bunch of fucking money because I'm selling planes, and I'm selling trucks, and I'm selling cars. What the capitalists, what the socialists are telling you is that if I hired people who were not working before, I hire them to run my machines that I bought, right? I hire them to run my machines. Eventually, the socialists are saying, these people should kill me and take my machines from me. You understand? Eventually, they should kill me and take my machines from me because I'm exploiting them, because I'm making a profit. I'm making a greater profit because I'm buying fucking machines with the money that I'm earning from selling machines. From selling vehicles. That it doesn't make sense. So I say, Omo Ifa says, socialism is just a transitional phase between capitalism and communism. So I think a highly industrialized society is still needed. I would say communism is a scam. Just say that it requires the whole world to cooperate. By what means would we industrialize though? You see what I'm saying? The whole world needs to cooperate. What species on Earth cooperates on a global level? Because it's not humans. It's not humans. So that's the scare. Right. So this whole world will never cooperate willingly. The whole world will never cooperate willingly. The infrastructure necessary doesn't exist. You'll also have some at the top and some at the bottom. The scam is who will be at the top. That's what the communists want to be at the top. I say I like Stalin. I like Mao. Where were they though? Where were they in the pyramid of things? Where were they? These quote-unquote communist nations. Where were Stalin and Mao? They were at the top. Where did Trotsky want to be? At the top. Where did Lenin want to be? At the top. People at the top are not equal to the people at the bottom. In decision-making. Industrialization is simple. Build machines. Build factory. Who builds the machines? So almost says, yeah, that's why communism is like 200 years away. 200 years away until AI solves it. This is a grown man. No, he's not a grown man. I think he's a young boy. But still, this is a grown damn man. He's like, look, My philosophy is 200 years away. You know how many people you know today that are going to be alive in 200 years? I'll tell you exactly how many people you know today that are going to be alive 200 years from now. Nobody! You don't know anybody who's going to be alive in 200 years. And I don't care how old you are. You could be 2 years old right now. You will not know anybody who's going to be alive in 200 years. I mean, even if you're 2 years old, and of course you're not listening to me, you're 2 years old, but even if you're 2 years old and you live to be 100, and then you meet a 2-year-old, like maybe, possibly, that 2-year-old may live to be, 98 years and then be alive in 200 years, but they're barely even there in 200 years. So you don't know anybody who's going to be alive. So if your ideology is off by 200 years, you should focus on something else. And the dude says, until AI solves it. Now, again, there's so much wrong with this line of thinking, but this is the line of thinking that our people are engaged in. And I know I told you guys, Brother McCarty says, oh, did you get the video I sent you? Yeah, I got the video. I didn't look at it fully yet, but I got it. Yeah. So, wait. Sorry, did you send it to me just now? Let me see. No, you didn't send it to me just now. You talking about the old video? Yeah. I got it. So it's like, yeah, so he's like, until AI solves it. AI? So AI doesn't even exist yet. You understand? The closest thing you got to AI is ChatGPT, which is a language learning model, right? I mean, it depends on what it depends on. I mean, obviously, people call it AI. Okay, people call it AI. Now, some people look at AI as, something with sentience that's not living. In that case, ChatGPT is obviously not AI. But there's also AI as an algorithmic intelligence in a sense, right? In which case, obviously you had that once upon a time. You know what I mean? Like you had that with pre-game chess or checkers or some shit. But that's different. So anyway, it really depends on what you mean. But again, if your solution is relying on this, and again, this is an African person, I believe in Nigeria, right? What are you worried about? How your solution depends on 200 fucking years and a machine system that you're not even participating in building. That's suspect. So he says, where is capital coming from to build the machines? Who's investing in it? Africa's poor right now. Doesn't even address the infrastructure deficit need to facilitate industrialization. I said, look, any solution that was proposed 150 years ago, that's 200 years away from a solution from an entity that doesn't even exist, is a scam. And you should see that. If it was invented 150 years ago, Karl Marx is not our fucking neighbor. He was from 150 years. He was during the time of American chattel slavery. That's when this guy was writing. Or African slavery. That's when this guy was writing. Capital is all about us. It's all around us. Individuals have always invested in and built machines and tools. Africa can do so again. All you gotta do is just build machines. Not a scam, just not realistic yet. It's not realistic. Then it's a scam. Africa does not currently have the money in itself to industrialize, and we don't have the skills either. What you're suggesting is capitalism if you're expecting individuals to invest and build up capital, right? I'm like, it's not realistic ever. It's always been the case that individuals or states invest and build. Calling that capitalism is your privilege, but it's the only realistic system. If you say one system isn't realistic, then it's not an actual alternative. Someone will build machines. So your view is we should go from capitalism in the early stages, then once industrialized, or at least in the process, introduce socialism. It's like, what is socialism? What is socialism and capitalism to you? Are you talking about the unrealistic division between public and private property? You do not want to force European pathologies on Africa. Capitalism is where when the means of production, land, labor, capital, are owned predominantly by private interests, and hence the values of them is concentrated among those interests. So is when labor controls the means of production, hence value is more widely circulated. So I say, look, okay, and how do you propose labor controls the capital? I.e., say I open a factory. I open a factory in Africa with 20 workers. You want the workers to control that factory? How do you propose that happening? Think about it. And so I said, look, do you want to continue this conversation on YouTube Live? And he's like, no, I'd rather not. But it's like, I want people to realize that. I get a factory. I get 20 workers. Now, again, I get a factory. How much does the factory cost me? Let's say it costs me, let's be realistic. Let's say the factory only costs me $10,000. Okay? Now, if I got a factory that's only cost me $10,000, right? The reality is this. I'm not making a big profit off of that shit. Okay? I'm maybe making $1,000 a month. Okay? But it would take me 10 months at $1,000 a month to get $10,000. In the meantime, my 20 workers, they are getting, let's say they get $100 a month each, right? And that's again, the $1,000 profit I made doesn't include their wages. So they get $100 each, or maybe they get $50 a month each. I don't know, but they get $100, $50, whatever, right? They have profit. See, because they went from $0 a month to $50 a month, right? Or $100 a month. I do not make profit until 10 months pass. Now, after the 10 months, sure, I'm making profit. But the reason why I'm making profit is because, one, I invested, I took a big risk and bought that machine, right? Bought the factory. And two, I'm managing the factory so that I can make a profit. That intellectual labor I'm putting in, that's why I'm making money. It's like with Niger, where they say the people in Niger, I mean the government of Niger is now one of the fastest growing economies. Right? The president is making money. Whoever's the president, whoever's the leader determines how much profit is going to be made. And a bad leader has always been the case. The leaders who were under France's ass never made that much profit for Niger. So there's a way to misrun a business and there's a way to run a business. And if I run the business successfully for a year, I will start looking at a profit. And you might say, wow, you pulling in 1,000 a month, whereas your worker is pulling in 100 a month. Okay, but how much does the worker invest? And if the worker puts up their savings, they can go and build their own fucking factory. And that's how you'll get your people industrialized. That's how you'll get your country industrialized. But if you're just waiting, if you're saying, look, I go put down 10 grand, 10,000 fucking dollars, and then the people that I hire, that I train to work inside that position, the 20 people then kick me out and take over my business and tell me I can't get any profit and they should just get the profit and they should just run it however they want. Okay, why the fuck would I put in 10,000 grand? Why would I put down $10,000 then? Why not just keep it? What am I investing for? What am I taking risk for? If you think that you should just take it. So, and I want people to understand what the socialist is saying. Because see, I can't write all this inside of a book. Forecast says, what's up, y'all? What's up, Forecast? I can't write all this inside a book, so I want y'all to understand this even before you read my book. That if you're telling me you want to kick out the manager, the person who's trying to get some money off of this endeavor, the person who's trying to make this profitable, then why would they even invest? So the guy says, the traditional managerial and CEO roles can be maintained, but labor controlling capital simply means that workers will get a larger share of the profits, which is their way. They're making pure profit. Even if the business goes under, even if the business doesn't pull a profit, they still get paid. Currently, workers don't get any share in the profits. Their wages are recurrent expenditure. Nah, I'd rather not. He said, nah, I'd rather not go on YouTube. I said, look, who said workers do not get profit? If I pay you a wage, it's out of the profit. Now, it's out of the revenues, right? And I mean, realistically, it's out of the profit, but whatever. The investor doesn't receive a profit, not until the profits exceed the expenditures. You understand? The wage earner is actually the first person to receive a profit, because when I start a business, you get to work for a wage and you get the money right away. I do not get the money right away. I put down $10,000. I do not make $10,000 on the first day. You make $50 on the first day. I have negative $10,000 on the first day. You understand? So in order for me to profit, it will take the amount of time it takes to get $10,000. In order for you to profit, it takes 1 week. And people have to understand this. So then Omo says, no, profit is defined. And who's defining this? Defined as money made after recurrent expenditures have been paid, and that includes wages. You see? So the bourgeoisie say, oh yeah, the wages are included in the expenses. And then so we're like, okay, then it's therefore not profit. But the reality is this: you're paying and that's what I'm saying. You gotta look at it two ways. You start the business and you set your money aside to pay the workers from jump. So it's like I said, if I buy a factory for $10,000, I'm actually buying it for $9,000, and I have $1,000 set to the side to pay my employees. So they just getting money for free. They're not earning it. Now, hopefully they do a good job. I instruct them well, and I have a good business plan, and then they pull in some money, and then out of that money they pulling in, I continue to pay them wages. So say they make $2,000, I still have another $1,000 set aside to pay them again. Okay? And then I keep the other $1,000 because again, I'm 10 grand in debt. And now he's saying, no, you shouldn't keep you shouldn't keep $2,000. You should pay them $200 instead of $100. Oh, sorry, since it was 20 people, you should pay them instead of $50. You should pay them each $100. And so then I will have no profit. I'll have nothing. So I'll be down negative 10,000 for the rest of the business. After training these people and hiring these people and doing all that shit, I'll be behind because essentially, according to the socialists, I'm extraneous, even though I'm the one putting in the investment. One, I'm the one selecting the people to run the business, training them, and giving them the opportunity. I'm the one that's extraneous, allegedly. Even though I'm making the business profitable. I can't do all the work, but I'm the one making the business profitable. And this again, I'm talking to this brother because he's actually voicing what a lot of black people are convinced on. This is what's considered revolutionary thinking. Get rid of the bourgeoisie. Okay. And again, I'm not a fan of the bourgeoisie. I'm not a fan of capitalism per se, but I want people to understand when you're really discussing economics, what you're really discussing. You're discussing somebody, all right. So profit is defined as money made after recurrent expenditure have been paid, and that includes wages. Investors are paid dividends from the profits. Again, he's just talking about America. Walmart, America, right? So I don't know if he's in Nigeria, if he's in America, but whatever. Walmart can make $2 billion in profits, and the wage of workers won't change, but investors will gain millions. Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you how much did you put into investing? How much did the worker invest, and how much did the other person invest? Because if I invest in a business, like for instance, like I tell you guys, I'm trying not to say so much, but let's say I invest in a business in Africa, right? Why should I not receive more money than the person who doesn't invest? Like, sure, the person over in Africa might be working in the business. Okay, and they're making the money that they signed up to make. But if I invested in a business, I signed up to make a lot of money too. So in economics, and this is the definition, in economics, profit is the difference between revenue that an economic entity has received from its outputs and cost of its inputs, also known as surplus value, is equal to total revenue minus total cost, including both explicit and implicit costs, right? So I said, yeah, Marxist and liberal theory, profits are excessive wages. But in real term, per individual, you have to look at who profits. I receive a profit from working. I have a loss from investing because I had to buy something, right? Walmart is 61 years old. It wasn't always profitable. You know, Walmart is 61 years old. Like I said, if in a year I could make a profit, right? If I'm running my business right, and it's not guaranteed. They say I think like 70% of businesses fail in the first 3 years, right? This business is 61 years old. It has a business model that the founders or the CEOs have been maintaining, and it's been profitable for them. I'm just saying, well, they shouldn't be profitable. Anyway, no, just in economic theory, a profit is made, and so this comes to the layman's term. Profit is made from operating a business. Labor costs are part of the operation. Your labor produce excess value, and you should be able to profit from the excess value. You see what I'm saying? Your labor, so you do profit. But anyways, the business owners can register their business as LLC to avoid any losses. What is he talking about? People in Tanzania can't register their businesses as LLC to avoid any losses. The loss is in you taking out your money and buy. Like I told you guys, I got a farm. I bought a farm for a pretty penny, right? I got no profit from that farm. None. So all that money is lost for nothing. For nothing. And whoever, like basically there was no rain. And so all the crops burned. But the people who worked, the farmers who worked on the farm, right? In order to, put the seeds in the ground or to do this and so forth, right? They earned money to do that. And they earned money from my money that I lost for the farm. Because the farm never made any money. The farm never sold any crops. And that's the real world. And so there's a risk involved. Let's say, LOL, you profit from the excess value. You add that the laborer doesn't get paid. The cost of labor is how labor profits. The cost of labor comes out of the business's profit. The profits are just fixed, but fixed profits are better than variable. LLC is country specific. So I think that might be, as far as Twitter is concerned, the last tweet I'm showing, I don't know. I think, what is this? I said, what? I hope this is appropriate. Oh yeah, Italy achieves unthinkable world record. No childbirths in 3 months. That's crazy. I don't know if that's true, but I didn't look it up. Oh, this was some family was crying over the help, the broke ass servant. And this is what I'm saying. This is why you kind of want gender roles where you don't want your women working, because when your women are working, they end up like this. Just house helps in the middle of Dubai or some shit. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, we're going to miss you so much. But it's like, she shouldn't have to work for herself. She should just get a husband to work for her. Honestly. And then you don't have to embarrass yourself by making your women vulnerable, going to different countries. Like, you don't have to embarrass yourself. But it is what it is. This is not a scam, just realistic. We're still on the communist conversation. Oh yeah, this was another comment. This was another one. So this was actually an important conversation. So look at this. Oh, this is also interesting too. Humans do not create inequalities, nature does. Not only are humans unequal, but the land in which we are stand are unequal as well. Fools say to abolish inequality. Mature people embrace it, and that's the reality. But this is the thing I wanted to show. Some sister was like, and I wanted to show this last week. That's why a lot of this stuff is old. But it says, Africa's progress does not lie with the educated who yearn for glory in spaces that have suppressed our people. It's relied on innovative minds who are brave enough to decolonize everything they touch, right? So I'm like, okay, look. Decolonize is just a buzzword. Africa's pre-colonial state was what got Africa colonized. Okay? I want people to understand that. Africa's pre-colonial state was what got Africa colonized. If Africa is to rise, we'll need a new mindset that takes into consideration the diverse forces on the planet. It's decolonization, but purpose towards building a new Africa from the ground up. We can't go back to the Africa that we once had. Okay? Let me see. I think Forecast was typing. Forecast said, why would anyone take the risk and all the work starting the business for nothing or just to lose money? Exactly. Because the thing is this. The thing that gets me the most mad about the farm is that the person who was convincing me to invest in this farm was really asking me, at some point, was asking me to invest 10 times as much. And that would have been like most of my money. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that, well, not most of my money, but it would have been a lot of money. If I had invested 10 times as much at that point in time, I couldn't buy a house. You know what I'm saying? Now, luckily, I did not get caught up. I said, look, why don't you do this, build it up, and see what happens. And it went to shit. Okay? It went to shit. And so, like, you got to come to terms with that. Like, the real world is you're not guaranteed any sort of profits. You are not guaranteed any sorts of profits, except for if you're working for a wage, and especially in America, where if you do not get paid the wage you're earned, you could sue them and get the wage, get more than the wage. Maybe in Africa, you know, if somebody doesn't pay you for a certain amount of time, guess what? They just didn't pay you for a certain amount of time. But anyway, Forecast says that social stuff goes with the people of color uniting and oppressed people around the world talking about. Exactly. Real Bad Gentleman says international workers and stuff. You know, that's it. Men used to work 40 hours for 20 years and provide a house, a car, and a college education for their children. Maybe the wife worked 10 a week and made sure it was better than average. Yeah, I mean, look, if my thing is this, I don't, as a man, I'm saying to myself, if I'm going to protect these women, right, I don't need them engaging with Wazungu behind closed doors. Like, here's the thing. Your wife works, okay? Let's say your wife works. What is she doing with Wazungu when you're not around? You understand? What is she doing with Wazungu while you're not around? Now, obviously, she's going to tell you, oh, man, you know, these people did this, so on and so forth. But now, Wazungu's out there abusing your woman. Right? Or, you know, she's just, basically, you letting her out of your sight. How are you going to protect her? How are you protecting your woman? And a lot of dudes we talking about, and see, this is what I say about black folk, how we start clowning. How we start clowning. Because I said the economics shapes the culture. We start clowning and say, oh, well, that's her work husband. You see what I'm saying? So this woman's married to you. And then because you're in such a fucking bad predicament, your woman can go outside of your house and talk with some dudes or flirt with some dudes at the job, and you feeling fully secure because that's the culture. It's just a work husband. It ain't nothing. And then sometimes you even hear, oh, she messed with the work husband. Or you hear about the teachers. I just saw the thing. You hear about the teachers who are messing with children. Like this is what you're putting your women through. You're putting them into social situations that are either going to jeopardize your relationship or are going to jeopardize her sanity. Because, like, there are women in motherfucking public schools. There are women in schools who are fucking their students. Why are you putting your daughters through that sort of shit where they would get so fucking psychopathic, so fucking desperate, so fucking loser that they can't find a relationship their own age? They're preying on teenage boys. And I mean, the teenage boys is obviously preying on them. Why not? Because you the dummy to let your daughters come around a bunch of hormonally charged teenage boys. You got this fine-ass 30-year-old. For some reason, this 30-year-old can't find a marriage. She can't find a life. She can't find a good man. Why? Because the men in her life told her to go work. The men in her life told her to go work. Go live by yourself. Go earn your own living. That's why I say, that's why I liked about Africa. Africa opened your eyes and you realize, hey, you know what? All I really need is one woman. You know? Now, granted, I'm not saying I wouldn't try to get two. And granted, I'm not saying I wouldn't try to, whatever. But what I'm saying is that all you really need is one woman. And you take care of this woman, she don't got to work. Like I said, I appreciate the woman I lived with in Africa because one thing she didn't do was she didn't work. She technically had a job to go to. She had a business to go to and all that kind of shit. She didn't even go. She was like, I'll just spend my time with you. And we weren't always in the same room. You guys know I was doing my podcast. You guys know I was doing my writing. You guys know I was doing my gaming. But she still was like, I don't have to go out to work. And that's what you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to try to set up in your life as a man. And as a woman, that's what you're supposed to try to set up in your life too. Say, you know what? Let me go with a guy who does not make me work. But as it stands, you are telling your people to go work. And if you paid attention to what the fucking Marxists were saying, the socialists are telling you, hey, you know what? Work is fucked up. Work is fucked up for the psyche. This guy, Engels, he's like, yeah, man, work can get you, frustrated, get you all sorts of blah, 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 blah. Let's make the women work more. You know what I'm saying? The socialists are big on the alienation. Let me see if I can find it in this thing. But it's more so, you'll find Marx talking about alienation. But the alienation of labor, right? Let me see if I can look it up. Right? In alienated labor, Marx says humans are reduced to the level of animal, working only for the purpose of filling a physical gap, producing under compulsion of direct physical need. Alienation from my life activity also means that my life activity is directed by another. This was a York University, so on and so forth. But the point is that Karl Marx, we're going to use Wikipedia just so that I don't get random porn, aliens and some shit, But so these guys are saying, hey, look, there's a metaphysical problem with going to work. Let's go and send our daughters to go work. Okay? Let's go and send our daughters to work. You don't have to do that. And of course, people are going to say, oh, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, you're a genderist, you're a this, you're not a feminist, you're an anti-feminist. Okay, I'm trying to protect you from the alienation aspect. Because right now, you doing something innocent like teaching high schoolers is somehow making some women fuck children. It's somehow inspiring you to be a fucking pedophile. And all you doing is supposed to just teach the motherfucking math. You know what I'm saying? You're going to just teach the motherfucking math and you suddenly a pedophile. There's something wrong with that. A real black gentleman said, you once upon a time when you didn't have, when women didn't have to work. Forecast says, forget that poor righteous teacher stuff. It's wealthy righteous teachers from now on. That's it. Ideally, she worked from home. Yeah, exactly. Ideal. Because, see, back in Africa, you had women who were working in the market. You know what happens when you work in the market? Right? She ain't on no fuck shit. She's perfectly safe. She's not engaging with the enemy. She's not in any sort of trouble. She's in the open public, in the open air. I'm telling you guys, you don't even know. When I was in Tanzania, I was in this one area, right? The market was right nearby. I was walking. I asked one guy, I said, hey, man, where can I go to wash my hair? Right? And he says, I don't know. Maybe you could check out, the main street, right? I'm walking to the main street, just looking around. I think I stopped inside of one store and I asked them, a hair salon. And I asked them, hey, do you wash, hair? They said, no, we don't do locks. All right. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And I'm still walking. And then some sister comes out of nowhere and says, hey, I heard you were asking around about getting your hair washed. I got a store right here. And she walked me back to the store. Another example. I went to her store the next day. Not the next day, but another day. And I said, because she said I could come, get my hair washed there, right? So I go to her store, and she says, she's not there, but there's another brother there. And no, the brother's not there. The brother's next door. And he says, oh, she's not here right now. She's blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Cool for you. And I walk away, and then she calls me. She says, oh, some dude said that, my friend said that he saw you at my store, so on and so forth. Why am I giving these examples? What I'm saying is this. Your woman cannot be up to no fuck shit. if she's in the market, in the local market, because everybody in that area sees everything, knows everything, talks about everyone. She's not going to be meeting no motherfucking high schooler, because everybody's going to see her. None of her business. Me just walking to the window of the store had multiple people call on this woman, hey, somebody's outside your store. Oh, the Rasta man's outside your store. You understand? And worse is this. They said, I was her friend. They said, oh, your friend's outside the store. I went to a restaurant. And I went to her store one time. Right? Or maybe twice. They said, oh, your friend. So they already established in their mind, hey, you know what? This is her friend. This guy is her friend. They already circulated that, populated that. Everybody in the neighborhood already knew, hey, you know what? This guy is this lady's friend. Okay? Rabbi Jenner said, only makes sense about the open public market. Yeah, I'm telling you, because when you go there, you see it in plain view. Everybody knows everybody because they've been sitting outside every day. Because remember, in Africa, they don't have no seasons. In Tanzania, they don't have seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have rainy season. They do not have snow. They do not have cold. They are on the equator. There are no longer days or shorter days. Every day is the same damn length, more or less. No daylight savings, nothing. Every day is the same damn length. So if you are out in the market, you are doing the same thing, sitting in the same place every fucking day for years. It is boring and repetitive, I guess, kind of, sort of. But, that's how you would make money, right? If your husband asks you to. So if you want to go make money, you could do that. You're not working in no big some big office. You're not sitting indoors, doing so on and so forth. You are outside with your goods, engaging people who are selling. And if you're not outside, you're in the building that's really not that big because all you want is people to come inside. You're the cashier and all that kind of stuff. You're not socially isolated. You're not behind closed doors. Nobody, so on and so forth. That's your existence, and it's a good existence. I kind of wanted to shop myself. I just put up some books, just sit back and sell the books or don't sell the books because again, I don't care about $2. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know I be going on tangents though. I don't know what the fuck. like you looking at the source material, you're like, what are we talking about? So I said, look, we gotta get a new so on and so forth. She says, no, our resources are what got us colonized. Mineral land and labor resources, from what I gather, that's in fact what decolonization means. What is she even saying? Because that's the thing, you gotta realize this is why you're not gonna find revolutionaries, because nobody even knows what the fuck they're talking about. What I just told you guys about gender roles, it made a lot of sense. Home buyer, home keeper, and home inheritor. Makes a lot of fucking sense. Nobody else is saying it. Or even if people are saying it, they're not just saying it as fucking clearly. So you might get it. Like, you might read the Bible and pick up on, you know what, the man's supposed to buy a house and the woman's supposed to maintain it. You might read it and pick up on that, but you might pick up on a whole bunch of other bullshit too. You understand? Man, obey your wife and this, that, and so forth. I'm not saying, she should be disobeying, but, you get what I'm saying, right? She said, no, our resources are what got us colonized. So resources don't get you colonized. So this, even the socialists are saying, no, our resources were the motivation, but what got us colonized was our disunity that allowed them to not only hire thousands of Africans to fight against us, but also allowed them to dismantle one empire at a time without the opposition from the other. And you got this brother, he says, look, weakness is what got Africans colonized. Because the Portuguese got arrogant and tried enslaving the Chinese with their vast empire in the 1500s, and the Chinese beat the tar out of them and chased them back to Portugal, so they stuck to the weak and defenseless to enslave them instead. You see what I'm saying? Now this guy's going to say, look, they did eventually colonize China. Yeah, of course. I hope you know the Portuguese tried to colonize Mali and Somalia in the 1500s and lost as well. It was the Industrial Revolution that led them to get ahead of us. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So, and they're not saying different things. They're saying, when you are weak, you get colonized. Pre-colonial African states, most of them were weak. Now the brother's like, no, not Mali and Somalia. Yeah, no, not Mali and Somalia, until they fell behind and they became weak. Because people who are strong are looking to dominate weak people. Why not? And so I said, look here. Ibn Battuta, and this, I think I'll just end over. I'll show you guys some of this video from Africa, hopefully. But look, Ibn Battuta said, considered the second most traveled person in pre-modern history. Second most traveled person in pre-modern history. I think they said the most traveled is Marco Polo. Right behind Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta, okay, was an Arab beneficiary of Arab colonization in Africa. He said something fascinating about the town of Uy in Sudan. No white person can enter here. The mindset is why men are colonized. The weak converted. Right? Here's what he said. We then left this place and came to the great river, which is the Nile. Upon it is the town of Karsanju, from which the Nile descends to Kabata, then to Zaga, the inhabitants of which were the first in these parts to embrace Islamism. So he's like, look, the people inside of the Nile valleys. These are Nilotic civilizations. Some of them embraced Islam. They are religious and fond of learning. From this place the Nile descends to Timbuktu. Now I don't know if it's Timbuktu or Timbuktu, but whatever. Then to Kaka, of both which we shall give some account. So he goes to Kaka and he goes to Timbuktu. You guys can read this book; it's good. It then proceeds to the town of Mouli, which is an extreme district of Mali. It then goes on to Uy, the greatest district of Sudan. Oh, so he didn't mean Sudan, the country. He meant the black world. But anyway, the king of which is the most potent king in the Sudan region of Uy. He says no white person can enter here, for if he attempts to do so, they will kill him before he reaches it. Basically this. Ibn Battuta, the second most traveled person in the world, he could travel because he's Arab, and these motherfuckers is Muslims. A lot of black folk were Muslims, so they said, oh, you know what? You convert us to Islam. We are okay with you coming around us. But the black men who said, you know what? Fuck your Islam and fuck your white ass. Fuck you, Arab. Fuck you. Right? They were killing white folk on sight. They didn't get colonized. That's the fucking lesson. Now, what I want to do is I want to go to another window real quick. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me, and I just want to treat you guys with some additional video. I was supposed to show this last time I was in Tanzania. I was thinking I was showing off. Well, I guess I can't show this video, but let me see if I could change this window to my. Oh, hold on a second. Let me change it to my my Telegram window, and then you guys can see. So Telegram, I want you guys to know, Telegram, although try not to get your account stolen, but Telegram is a good way to hold on to videos without using up all your phone space, by the way. Now, granted, if that website ever goes down, you lose all your videos, so make sure you back up everything you have. But like, let me show you guys some of these videos that I had in Africa. I was really doing this so that I could show you guys easier while I was in Africa, but it is what it is. So this is the Telegram, and hopefully this works. Let me just see if it works. So these are some of the videos inside of Tanzania. This is me inside of at a waterfall, just talking bullshit. Let me see.
All that matters.
Let me see if this window's showing.
Choices for a better life, wealth, and health.
Okay, so it's not showing. Let me see how I can make it show. All right, so there's no way to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my whole screen. Before I do that, though, let me just make sure everything is copacetic. Looks like everything is copacetic. So I don't like showing this window, the chat window or the thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to share my whole screen. So let's see how I can do that. I think this is the video. This is the button. Yeah. So Let's try this video again.
All that matters is matter. 21 choices.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
a better life, wealth, and health.
All right. So that's me. You guys already know. I don't know why I thought that was cool. When you're in Tanzania, you think anything's cool, and then you just realize, you don't. It might not actually be cool. But look at it, man. I tell you guys, I was riding this motherfucking motorcycle, boys. It was an adventure, man. This is what villages look like in Tanzania. So you see how the house is. I can't hear him. Look at these bananas. There. Daylight go. Yeah, look, this thing is dangerous, man. Y'all don't even know. Like, you going down a whole slope. I kind of want to go through all these videos with you guys. Taliban, Talimi banana. Yeah. I'm actually sitting down with my son, holding on for dear life, yo. Anyway, and this is more. Oh, this is a crater that they showed us. A large crater. But I kind of want to show you guys this this farmland. So this is another village life. So when you hear, hey, they bombed the shit out of people in a village, this is what they're bombing. Okay, this is what they're bombing. These people are not doing anything. Like they're just living like when you talk about an open market, they're just living a basic life. This is school children crossing this bridge. You know that motherfucker say "shikamo" to me, which means "hey, old man." Anyway, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong page. Where's the fucking over here? That's cool. No seasons and same daylight. That's how it's supposed to be. They brought us back to this cold ass place. Yeah, I'm telling you. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't like showing you guys this screen right here. With my 8. I don't like showing you guys this screen, but it's like that's how it is when you share the whole screen. You can't be selective. So this is me at the waterfall. This is me at the thing. I was trying to flex about some. I'm trying to show you guys this. Oh yeah, here.
So I came to Africa. Might as well do what everybody else does.
Oh no, this was me pretending to beg. Hold on a second. This is they telling us traditional dance. I want to show you guys the banana farms.
No commentary. Just, it's like a little Capri having commentary. So you thought I was not gonna have anything. Sabotage somebody. You thought I was not gonna have.
Yeah, I gotta upload those videos, but I can barely even hear it right now, so I ain't gonna hold you guys. Look how many banana farms, like how many banana trees they have.
Look at people. Oh shit! People travel. Look at all those bananas. But people travel all over this far.
Like this is the real world. If you want to get to these banana farms, like these banana trees, you have to travel long and hard. Now there was like a.
So we're talking about bananas here.
All right, let's see if this is it.
Look at this, man. Y'all never seen anything like this. I just be at home writing a book that nobody wants to read, or maybe you do want to read it. If you do, like I said, you should go down with the video. Like, I mean, of course, I'd rather.
So these are tea leaves or something.
But like, look at this. Like sometimes just take a break, take a vacation. Produce, be productive, but sometimes just go out and take awe of this planet. This planet created all this. We are all descendants of the same microorganism. diversity. This is the genetic diversity that's been created. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Speaking of beauty, right?
I know, right? That's the most jagged motherfucking picture.
Look, see? So these are tea leaves here.
So, all right. So, just to clarify, the reason why I put the camera so high is because I'm not trying to get my son on the video. And so, but like he's sitting right in front of me, you know? So I'm just like, let me just go over his head. You know, that's the reason why the video is so high. But, you know, what I talk about, I show you guys a bunch of, like, you never seen so many banana trees. Whole bunch of banana trees. Who is going to get these bananas? Like, these are in the most remote locations. You have to ride on motorcycle for hours. Who's going to get all of these bananas? Somebody has to put in actual physical labor to get these bananas, pack it in the truck, and then eventually you can sell them in any part of the world. But somebody has to do this work. And so you have this tea leaf. When you look at an actual tea leaf, I don't know if you want to use the word plantation or not, but when you actually look at a tea leaf plantation or whatever, you see how large this land is. One family can't pick all those tea leaves. They have to hire it out. But how much are you spending to hire it out? You know, these are real economic questions that the people are not being realistic about. Because if you say, hey, you know what? I make all the profit. You know, you say the worker makes all the profit. You know, like, you know, I don't have to worry about this. You know, the manager of the store that sells Twinkies, right? But, or not Twinkies, but sells bananas, right? If I manage a store, I'm so extraneous because whatever, because my worker is really the one selling the bananas. My worker's not picking no damn bananas. He's sitting, you as the American, you're sitting down in the motherfucking store just, you know, playing on your phone while other people walk up to the store and buy bananas. And then you make money and you saying, well, I should have more money. I should have bigger profit. No, a lot of money should be going to the people who are actually out in the field picking the motherfucking bananas. Look at this. Look at the size of this.
Yeah, you can industrialize the tea leaves, but own some tea leaves. Own some tea leaves yourself. You can go out and industrialize tea leaves. You know? Like, that's why I tell you guys, all that matters is matter. Whoever has all these tea leaves, and whoever has all these tea leaves, they're, you know, they have money. You know? And they're thinking to themselves, look, I gotta pay how many people?
How many people you gotta pay to get these tea leaves? When it's ripe, how many people you gotta pay? Like, y'all don't know how long this is. This is so much. Somebody owns this shit. The same with the banana farms. If you see how many bananas, and I think I should, I want to do this video. I actually was trying to do this video in Africa, but it didn't go. Right? Yo, this truck's almost kill you. You saw the truck just pass with a bunch of bananas too, right? But there were just so many banana trees. Okay, and remember, this is not even Dar es Salaam. I left Dar es Salaam. This was in Beja. Okay? Banana tree. Who's picking these bananas? And it's dangerous. We're on the motorcycle path. This truck pushed us off the road. We fell off. Like, we didn't fall off the bike, but the bike stopped and we had to get off.
I think they were trying to overtake a truck to try to make some.
Oh, yeah, we saw somebody die in a truck crash. Well, we didn't see them die, but we saw a truck crash. Look at these banana trees. Just banana tree. And it's all over. I'll try to show you guys some of these videos another time. I can't really hear it right now, so that's a problem. Maybe you guys can hear it, but I can't. Anyway, that's pretty much it, though. I'll try to stop sharing this screen. Go back to browser window? No. Go back to... Oh, was it browser window? Yeah, browser window. And then let's go back to Twitter account. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, though. I wanted to show you guys that. I'll probably show it to you another time. Forecast says I'm fluent in Swahili. Nah, man, that language is hard as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you. I was never good at language learning. I like, one of the reasons why I was never in the gifted program in college and in high school was because I kept failing Spanish. But a part of me was like, I'm never gonna need to learn Spanish. You know, I was trying to study astrophysics. So I was like, what am I gonna do with Spanish? You know, and I still don't use Spanish, but like that's my problem. And like really, it was just hard. I mean, I think low key it wasn't that hard. The classes weren't that hard, but I was just being stubborn. But now I don't think it's that hard either. But it's hard to study. You know, it's hard to study because you gotta listen to these audios and they're so boring. You know, but it's a really complicated language, like really complicated language. I mean, it's simple but complicated. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like it's straightforward, but then it's complicated, and there's like so many words to learn. Like you got to think about how many words you know in English, especially somebody like me who like knows a lot of words in English. Like that is really like a disadvantage in learning Swahili because you know so many words that you don't know the Swahili words. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's pretty much the whole podcast. I hope you guys appreciated it. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Ask some questions if you want to ask some questions. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Thank you for your time. It was 3 hours. I think it was a pretty good podcast. Let me know in the chat. But other than that, I guess if there's no questions, nothing. All right. So we out then, man. Shem Hotep, Uncle Ja Seneb Neb, Dua Netcher. No, sorry. Shem Hotep, Uncle Ja Seneb Neb. Amen, my aunt. Dua Netcher.